obviously is the 5th player of TSM on top of it. Whereas on PVision, Belchanok, crazy good. Art Frost has been around now for a while. And Kicker, obviously, is a player that we discussed the last time we casted them. He's been around for forever. He's 25, but he's been in teams since he was like 14 years old. So he's got tons of experience.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying, obviously, kind of joking around, being like, where has Kicker gone from the major cycle, right? We haven't seen him in so long. Feels like he sort of disappeared. It's good to have him back, but at the end of this series, it could be the same old story. No major, no opportunity. So they need to show up, the entire team of PVision. We kick it off on Dust2 TSM on the T side. Early mid-play here as well. Looking for the info with the Julies. That's Art Frost that ran clean on out. He's seen nothing. So off the back of the information on the long push, they instantly gamble with a huge stack. Oh my. Well, they've been blown to bits, but the bomb, of course, was over towards B, running on out, but it's going to be the full retake, 5 versus 3.
The full retake, in which they do not have any real grenades to play with. So, considering that you're going to have Glocks up close to the P250, this could get pretty sketchy pretty quickly if you're PVision. Already, a third of the timer has ticked away. Flashbang being tossed over. Up into the open, it's Zyphon that picks up the first one, and they're going to hold the line with Zyphon on 2. Sierra now goes out for the peak. There's a team kill thrown in the mix as well. It's all gone horribly wrong for PVision. A 5v3, and they may not take a single one of these defenders down. As Art Frost is going to try and be the gatekeeper and let the bomb deal with Zyphon. But they're both going to go down with the bomb or just outright die from bullets. That is a horrible retake attempt from PVision, but Zyphon, take a bow. Those 2 kills were sick.
Yeah, dude, that is crisp. Oh, they went for the gamble off the back of the read, believing it to be the A play. Thought they had caught Warford. Nothing towards lower early. Yeah, you got the first 2 picks, but holding the bomb site, it was Zyphon that made the Insurgent like a knife. And that's the rough overextension, okay. A bit more leeway seeing it back from his perspective there. It's obviously always an awkward fight towards upper. Bullets just hit your teammate in the back, losing Belchanok, and even went for the Butcher play at the end. I think he was out of ammo, so he just hoped he could get the swipe off. He was so low as well, got close enough. Could have been the knife.
They kind of saved from that embarrassment towards the end. Oh, it's going to be so... I feel like this is going to be a very, very close game. You know, we were discussing this on the desk in terms of trading the maps out from the last time they both met each other, but in terms of their performances coming into this one, TSM are on like a 7 or 8 loss streak in terms of matches. Other than a win against Sinners, it's a similar story for PARIVISION as well, for PVision. It's also in terms of the win percentages on the maps that we're playing. Like Vertigo is not a great map statistically for either team, even though TSM have picked it up. And this round with the Eco, going to be rushing straight through mid, and Art Frost on those Julies. The TSM are already on the site and already planting. Easy, straightforward 2-0 coming up.
With just the USPs, you can hope that you draw the attention down towards CT spawn. And then that maybe Art Frost gets a little bit lucky, he can find his window to sprint out, spam down with the Julie, see if he can get some guns out of their hands. They are backing off now, round towards long as well. Take the fight down, keep them close towards the site if you can as well. Bomb blast potentially could become a little bit more problematic, and then just play for the exit. So Art Frost tucked into position. How healthy they are though, they don't need to step outside the boundary, they can just hold where they are. So no one's going to come running into his crosshairs. You didn't expect much out of the round, but they really find naught for it. And TSM being able to take that one cleanly. So pistol works out, rebuy comes out, PVision on the board now with the weaponry you'd expect to see. Art Frost donning the scope. What's he got in store for us on this map? Dust2 can be an AWP's paradise if you take to it.
It can also be hellacious if you are not landing your shots, because there is that added pressure. There is that added element to the map. And if you're not landing, you know that you are being a little bit of an anchor for your team, but not in the good way. Art Frost, the meanwhile, though, peeking up on middle. The timing here for Acor on these jiggle peaks is constantly just bypassed Art Frost's presence. That flash is good, but they can't fully make the most of it. Artfrost position compromised, but KitKat is here for another flashbang. Smoke behind it, and TSM doing a good job of dealing with the early AWP presence from Artfrost. No kills in early on, but TSM getting up close on long additionally, where 2 players are laid in wait.
Playing a slower default on this one. All the nades in the world for the T side still, whereas the same cannot be said for PVision. Obviously, it's an investment back in with limited funds. You're favoring the weapons over the nades. That really means you got to hit your shots. Artfrost goes back in, redeems himself, throws out the nade as well to try and slow them down, but the Galil still peaks, and Nico slays his man. On response, it's Alpha. He'll see the boost, should know there's a player, but no. Flick straight down with the support of Patsy. And suddenly there's just 2. Flashbangs on target. Great re-engagement from KitKat.
That's great flash as well from Alpha, isn't it? Fully pops both players. Vision completely taken away. And I've got to also respect that repeat from Artfrost after missing the fairly convincing straightforward shot. He went back in for seconds. He had confidence in himself. It's such a confidence-based weapon. Sure, he went down, but that's not really the point. Because they can pick it back up and give it straight back to him all over again. And now the money's starting to deplete away from TSM as they try and pick up the pace out and long, and this time they get the success, albeit at great cost to Zyphon and Acor, but they get the pick on Alpha, and it's immediately drawn away. A full rotation from PVision. All 4 players sat here waiting to receive the push.
1 health. 99 damage done to Zyphon, but no kill. And like you say, the hustle and bustle has drawn the attention of the entire squad of PVision. So the cavalry is on the bomb site. Smokes in their hands, Artfrost throws out the first. Zyphon tucks into the pit. He wants to play a headshot angle where it's uncomfortable for you to take the engagement versus him. The rest of the squad wraps out. Start to make their push, a split from short and long. Re-smoke is in, they block off CT. Artfrost is the first contact with the AWP. He could be sideswiped here. Needs to be ready. The slight readjustment, gap in the smoke. The shot's going to tag, but it doesn't frag, and now they know. They're aware of the push, but Valde running up on ramp. He gets the entries, Vince. This could be the T-side's way in, even if it's messy. They're being able to win out on the duels, and of course Artfrost dropped off to CT, right back around. He goes up through short. Good fight, first clean. Oh, that is beautiful, the lineup from Artfrost. It's Zyphon with 1 HP. Don't let him get the 1 tap off. Smoke comes over, makes it uncomfortable. He doesn't know how low this man is, and with time ticking, he wants to dive straight in. He could take the peek here. Looks to bait it. Artfrost going for the jump up, misses the shot. He's so low on health, nearly wins it, but Artfrost survives.
1v3 for Artfrost. Whipping up the USP, removing the head, and getting PVision their second round. It looked like by forcing him off the catwalk, they'd won the round by isolating the AWPer from the rest of the pack. But my God, what a clutch that is. First shot, just spotting a pixel. This lineup is disgusting. And Zyphon is going to be gutted he didn't get the kill. He came off the bomb, knowing that any jump shot on him is your dead man because of his 1 HP. Huge individual magnificence from Artfrost gets them a second round, and now a weakened economy TSM on an eco just has to push straight in to the B site. Zyphon alone is found and fragged, and a bit of a head scratch really on that one, considering there's no one there to do anything about it. It's not like he's drawing away rotational elements while they push mid, while they go out of long. Not really sure what the idea was there for Zyphon, but it's backfired.
For TSM, the curse at this RMR has always felt like the devil is in the details. Small moments that add up, really close games in both of their losses. 13-11, 13-10. That was against 3D Max on Vertigo and then VP on Ancient. So it's not been the star power that's the problem, it's just been those minor details. And another round like that, where PVision don't know how close it really was with only a single point of health on Zyphon and Artfrost clutching it out, fight towards long. The Glocks looked to overwhelm. The body thought it was still alive, but the round itself should be dead and buried.
Well, the eco has worked out. Alpha with a bit of an awkward spray there, you know. It seems harsh to nitpick because he got a kill, but the real top riflers are picking up all 3 kills there without too many issues, even with an A1S. A one and done. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that outcome. It forces him for the repurchase. But I think we've already seen glimpses of what we were discussing before, of how it's like, yes, TSM do have some very talented players. Zyphon, he's already shown it in the pistol round. We know Acor, once he has the AWP, he is going to be a threat. But it feels to me PVision are just a league above when it comes to their individual prowess. Artfrost showing us firsthand with that 1v3 clutch.
You can see it with the round timeline. 3 rounds back-to-back for PVision. TSM once again reinvesting into the AKs, nades to play with. HE dropped for the mid-rotate. So Artfrost has that one on hand in case he needs to break open the smoke early. It means he can afford himself another opportunity at it, but it's fast hits towards long. Alpha blind, but right on target. We were saying individually he was struggling previously in the games we've been seeing from this man. 5 kills right now, though. Slows down the push, beats the tempo play that TSM wanted to go for. At this point, you wrap off, just go for the mid to B. I mean, they've got smokes. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they can maybe put those smokes to use and try and wrap around onto the B site, but when you consider they've got Belchanok and Artfrost to deal with, like, it pretty much the 2 star players on form right now. Doesn't bode fantastically well. Great confidence builder, though, for Alpha with those 2 kills while fully flashed. Trades up to the AK as a result of it. As they try and submerge the T's with oncoming CT smoke. But it's TSM that are emerging outside a catwalk. Smoke put down. Nice smoke, actually. They may afford them the luxury of that catwalk plant, but it's what happens afterwards that's a problem for TSM to contend with. Meanwhile, Alpha's anticipating. He's up close. Not the case. Valda shuts him down in the back, and Acor comes in with 1, nearly 2. Valda goes from strength to strength with a second frag, and Zira comes out. A 5v3. And it's down to Artfrost to save the day once again. Already half of the timer is gone, though. He needs this pick right now, and he has no kit currently with on his person. Playing more for the exit frags, perhaps because the timer is way too low. TSM have snatched that round away out of thin air.
Oh, he's going to go down as well. Knows he's being pushed. Got a combat orb up close and personal. The shot connects at least to salvage the weapon into the next round. You can see the body language. He was already frustrated of how that round's gone, and rightly so. 5 versus 3. Valde gets the drop on Alpha that's expecting to peek over the top of pit side. Acor comes alive, attention split for Kicker, and it just goes all so wrong.
Stille og roligt, spil sammen, bum bum bum, ping pong. Det helt flægt det der, drenge. Bliv ved.
Ping pong?
Bom, 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 ping pong.
Okay. Is he saying like it's a back and forth?
I think so.
My Danish is not good enough for that one. It's...
Nope, same. I think he's saying like hit and run, like keep yourself adaptive and versatile. Oh dear. Well, they've been aced off the serve on this one. TSM tried to get outside along, and they've been shut down with ease. PVision showing that that was a blip on the radar. Back to business as usual. Zyphon and Acor at least have control over the bomb between the 2 of them, but there's not many bullets left in that magazine on Acor. He needs to be careful. Goes in for the reload now. Zyphon from above. If he peeks out too long, he's going to get shut down by Patsy's AWP, more than likely, who does miss. Double up setup now in play, and it's a bait and switch for the easiest of kills for Kickert. Although he is low, Acor can't do too much about it. And PVision have secured a 4th round, and the money for TSM is very grim indeed. It's 1 round, but straight away slapped back to reality. Artfrost does get punished, though.
A-Core with the entry. Potentially a bomb plant out of this. I mean, he smokes it for himself. If they give him the 1v1s, there's always room. I mean, A-Core's the crisp. Oh, hang on. Will the A-Core fall far from the tree as he wants to fight? No, it's a jumping Patsy. Oh, mate. Diving through the air, blows him to bits. Insult to injury and a round on top of it.
Really nice effort from A-Core, though, man. That flick to the player up close was lovely.
Yeah.
Definitely can respect and appreciate that he really did try his best to pull that one out of the fire. And it has ticked their economy forward. It does afford them the luxury of maybe going for like a scout or a few deagles now as opposed to pretty much nothing. So not bad. Not bad at all. Timeout called, though, for TSM early doors. And just to give you an idea as well, you know, we're talking about Valda and the experience this guy has over the years. He's been playing for what feels like forever, 29 years of age now. Previously at teams like Ents, OG, North, of course, is where I think he captured a lot of people's sort of imaginations. Heroic before that too. And there was a fair amount of years where he was kind of touted as being one of the best Danish players out there that wasn't playing for like Astralis. That's the shot. Really nice. See you later.
Oh, mate, it's so brutal seeing it from his perspective. Just the headshot no scope. And I do wonder as well if kind of the point Zyphon was going for with the idea of like the ping pong was that he's seen how much they over rotate in those early rounds. Where he's saying like, don't commit to a site here. Like just show a bit of skin, then wrap off, because we know they're going to invest heavily off the back of anything that's shown.
That's a really good point, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a moot point here, right? Because obviously you've just got the Glocks, doesn't really work. But that's kind of why I was trying to like justify. Is that what he meant by it?
No, I think you're onto something, because if you go, oh, that would have been a crazy flick, even though it was just an eco round. If you go back to, I think it was the first rifle round that Division had, they lost a player and they pushed all 4 players on A straight away. So obviously, if it's a read that they've made, it's just getting a bit scrappy, but it's still just going to be the one death on P-Vision. If it's a read that they've made, then that is something they can play with in future, absolutely. Maybe pressure long, while simultaneously trying to get like top tunnels control. See if you can maybe get around on mid, smoke off CT. There's options.
It gets a little bit more awkward here just by the nature of being able to use that second scope. Art Frost, we know it's a bread and butter weapon, but Patsy, he's definitely no stranger to the AWP. Okay, so it's back to the early opening play. They go for the fast hit towards long. It's been limited success here. This time around, it's 1-for-1 with Alpha going down, but Belchinok, right snapper, peeks back up. You're kind of forced into this one as well because they need to recover the bomb. Grabs it, but as he dies, he goes flying out. And A-Core, the only one that's left, vastly outgunned into the round. Closing this one, that's going to be 6 for P-Vision.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the call, obviously I would imagine there's Danes watching right now laughing. They're like...
they couldn't be more wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if that was the call, as you highlighted, and they have picked up on some over-rotations, then that last round ain't it, Chief. Like, you fully commit to long, and you just get totally pummeled. I mean, I realize a lot of Dust2 does come down to spawns, obviously. Like, you want to try and make the most of long spawns or B spawns. That definitely can happen too, but P-Vision was so on point with their trades. Like, Alpha went down, who, by the way... We singled him out as having a rough day at the office last time we casted him. Let's sing his praises, give him some flowers. 114 ADR, he's had a really good showing at long, a lot of impactful frags, even though he's 7 and 8, he's done a lot of work. But it's Belchinok with the follow-up kills, 3 in total, had a slow start, but he's started to pick up the pace in this one. So TSM, they've tried long control now quite a few times. Go on, kick the ball. You know you want to, A-Core. Sad.
If killing chickens in Counter-Strike is a bad omen, I feel like kicking the ball in Spawn on Dust2, that's a good omen.
Yeah. And just ask Eternal Fire how that went, killing the chickens.
Exactly. See? See what happened there? Can't be done, mate. Gotta let them live. Just little guys running around. You know, chickens are actually, I believe, like one of the only animals that experience REM sleep.
Really?
Yeah. It's something about like their brain structure, whatever it is. They have like actual REM sleep.
Like the rapid eye movement sleep.
Yeah.
I did not know that, Jackie. Today I learned.
Chicken facts. Chicken facts. I have given you a chicken fact, Counter-Strike community. Tweet at me and let me know what the Danes were saying. I'm curious. And you talk of the Danes as well, like the organization, right? For some viewers, for newer viewers, especially Vince, they might not even know that there was free appearances at majors for TSM. Remember way back, like obviously the core that went on to become Astralis effectively, right? And the mental thing is, all 3 of those appearances were in the year 2015. It feels like so damn long ago. A-Core on this round opens it up with a hero warp, and they've got Parshu in the smoke. Artfrost, you might not be ready for this one, but does he know? Oh, info goes both ways. It's going to fade. Deagle in the back line lines it up. Belchanok ready for the reply, but you're at a disadvantage here. TSM with a round to make a play on.
I need one as well, because the ebb and flow of this game has been very much against them. They won the pistol. And pretty much since that point, PVision have been having everything go their own way. It was all off the back of that really luscious clutch by Artfrost, who's gone down. You can see both of those AWPs that came into the round have now been spilled on the deck. Kicker, Alpha, and Belchanok still have the firepower advantage. It's only the AWP. Not been able to get their hands on a secondary one here, TSM, through a middle. Although they do have a couple of smokes, they got no flashes or mollies to really breach out with. The way Alpha's been playing, you fancy him for a kill or two. Zyphon going to go out first. AWP now peeking just behind it. Alpha gets caught though, and it's Cirrus Tech 9 that goes to work. Spray's a bit rough, but Kickert still nails the landing on 2 HP left. A-Core forced away, the easiest of Deagle shots. I say that as well, the whiffs, but does just about recover.
Oh, it looks scary. It really did look a bit worrying. You thought maybe Belchanok was going to be able to turn on him. Even Kicker, low on health, but still scrapping up on short side. Hero of the round there is the AWP. They get space off the back of the pick. You find your path in through the smoke. Important kills the whole way through, and down to this dangerous double up. Yeah, frustration there. TSM, you could still make a real close half out of this. A-Core. Thought he had the drop on Kicker out through the long side, but the flashbang throws him off. The shot rattles out, but doesn't land onto anyone. Weapons recovered though. Nico grabs it.
That pop flash was perfectly placed. Based off spawns again. It's often the case on Dust2. You want to try and make the most of those long spawns, get there first, punish the CTs, but it's TSM off the back of a victory that could be bowing out again. Patsy takes the fight, doesn't play the deep, narrow angle, instead decides to wide swing. Another player coming through. Zyphon will make the most of it. A flash accompanies the peak. The bomb's dropped back towards the T-spawn, and it will be Nico going for it, but Alpha, he's thinking of maybe going for a quick cheeky peek, I should say. That would be into his demise more than likely. Frost is holding, though, onto Catwalk. TSM in real trouble here again.
I mean, Nico's pre-scopes, there's no audio cue. He's going contact on it, but the barrel's going to give the game away. Yeah. Shadow as well. It's all right there, so it plays into the hands of Alpha. That advanced angle in Longhouse plays perfectly. There with the flashbang goes between his legs. He's nutmegged him. Still fights ahead of it. And that's another round straight back. So PVision with 7 here. We talk about Nico. Quiet at the minute. 3 kills, him and Valde. Both tied up. It was a nice assault from Zyphon on the reply. One too many times on the close cubby. And Artfrost hits all the hard ones, doesn't he?
Yeah, his flicks are on point, man. So is A-Core. They're quicker. Artfrost's 12 kills will not be added to in this round or this half, as it will come to a conclusion very shortly. Lack of weaponry on a couple of players, but that opening pick is going to do the world of good for TSM's prospects. They can now make the most of it, get some mid-control, try and pressure off the extremities of Catwalk. It's only Alpha there by himself. He decided to gamble stack 3 players over on B. It's not really a site that we've seen TSM go for, barring the pistol, really. They've, for the most part, been A and mid.
Alpha this time, he's been defending towards the long house, but wrapping back up close towards short. Quick look down in case the flashes are coming in, so he'll be able to dip underneath those. Kick up, paranoid about the close angle. So they do show a little bit of their hand into this round, trying to make them believe it's a play towards the A side due to those early over rotates. But the bomb in reality is on the back of Valde, and he's in upper tons. Re-smoke there. 3 players stationed on the site with only Alpha being the A defense. If they go for the mid to B in this round, it's the one time it's going to be really rough for him to be able to pull it off, especially with the nade coming in and the spray. Kicker hits the head of Sarah. Splits up the squad. They want to bail on it, but they're not quite sure. Communication's all going wrong. It means that they get swung on again from Kicker, who takes them down, kicking and screaming, and Nico on a mission to just die before time.
8-4 the half, and it's PWE had a great read of the round, but like TSM were just unable to adapt. It's like they wanted to go mid. They said, actually, no, let's go back. And then, no, we have to go mid again because time is so low and we don't have any control over catwalk. It's such a weird round. The comms seemed all over the place. Not on the same page at all. And to be fair to TSM as well, like they've had a lot of red in their wins and loss streaks as of late. In fact, it is just an L streak. They've got 7 or 8 losses in a row. But you look at their performances over the duration of the 2 best of ones, a 13 loss to 3D Max, who've looked good this tournament, and a 13-10 loss to VP. That's not too bad. But some of these T-half calls were very odd.
I did feel like they got ahead of themselves a few times there. Threw away a couple of opportunities. Hell, even if you think about one of the rounds they won, which was the Valde Deagle on the peak out, could have been a very different outcome there if Belchinok hits the shot back and then he's in the 1v1. And also, like, that red, in terms of their LAN performances, those are the only 2 games they have played on LAN in the past 6 months. These are their first LAN results that we're starting to see for TSM. 155 online maps, though, since the player break vid. So there's tons of demos, there's tons of research that you could have done for this team coming into the event. And PWE feel like they've had their number a little bit on that one. And again, I think it goes down to what we were saying in the pregame. Like, individually, the firepower for PWE feels like it is just at a bit of a higher level.
I mean, you got Kicklet popping off as well. Kind of went under the radar a little bit because of how Art Frost has been so kind of flashy with his kills and clutches. But Kicklet's been there just chugging along, taking names along the process, up to 115 ADR, 3 multi-kill rounds. Flirtation through on middle, but nothing really connecting as of yet as Valda pulls the plug and gets back onto the A site. PWE have managed to rally through onto the mid, but also long control starting to become theirs. And if those Julies peek around the corner without a flashbang alongside it, they could be in trouble. There's 2 kills from A-Core. Nicely done, but everybody else on his team have been struggling. And the advantage firmly in favor of PWE as they look to take the bomb and put it straight onto A.
Zyphon and Sarah. Trapped behind the smoke that fades, the vision is back, but are they able to turn this one into a reality where they get themselves a 5th round and a pistol to boot? Lurking on the bomb site, waiting for the info. You can swing together, play off one another. Labor taps from the Julies. Uh-oh, Belchinok as well. He's giving them a chance. Zyphon gets one. He's so low on health, and Patsy just has to peek up. They close it in the end. Scary response on the round, but still, it's a 9th for PWE.
Bro, it's like I was watching my own pistol aim for a second. Like, guys, that was it was shaky. Understandable. Elimination beckons for both of these teams. You can understand why maybe some anxiety is creeping in, but there were a lot of moments, and like you said, they give them a chance. It should have been a real closed case, a closed casket on the approach, but it wasn't. PWE, however, will be getting a 9th round, and pretty damning for TSM considering 2 of their 4 rounds were off the back of the pistol round. They went 2-0 before they were cut down to size. Although Art Frost may have taken a stray bullet down to 34 off the scout of A-Core or Valda, PWE still have tons of firepower left open for debate as they make slow moves down on middle. Now you can see the TSM as well. They've got aggressive out on long. They've got Nico up close, allowing A-Core to go back and forward and shimmy in with his scout. It's one of the advantages the scout has over the AWP, of course. It's way more mobile. You can run and gun a lot more with the weapon. Smoke down, but there's not many more where that came from. Just the one for Syrah. PWE, no reason for them to get overzealous and overextend into an awkward spot. Just take your time.
Valde with a scout. And a lot of information being gathered by Zyphon up close with that MP9, listening out for the audio cues. Meanwhile, Nico going on a late lurk all the way out through Longhouse. They might not expect there to still be 2 players on the bomb site, but Valde falls to Belchinok and Kicker on the rat back. Catches the timing of Zyphon. And that's just your B player remaining, Sarah. MP9 catches whiff of him, but you don't really like the fight. Can't blame him. So PVision, almost guaranteed here that this is going to be your 10th round. There's no response, no pathway for Sarah. And if he does walk out with a bullet straight to the face from Alpha, instead even just tucking in, I don't want to run the risk of throwing away these AKs, so he'll be able to hold on to that MP9 at the very least, but it's not a pretty sight. And Alpha actually goes for it, finds that one. So 10 rounds, full house, everyone wiped. 2.4k being the average across the team here for TSM. CT side start really not going their way.
Yeah, I think they also just sat back and effectively were allowing Sierra to potentially save because they'd already heard it was an MP9. They knew it was just the SMG. You've got full rifles. You don't want to throw any of those away on a foolish sort of like, you know, MP9 pickoff. But Sierra obviously got a little bit antsy. Kicker, meanwhile, is about to find out that Long is pretty much completely open and available for business because TSM have stacked on the middle portion of the map. You consider that 2 of their players, Nico and Valda, the 2 sort of veterans of the team, not really 2 players you look at for a lot of firepower, down at 3. More importantly, Zyphon on 6. Other than that pistol round, I am hard-pressed to remember a single round where Zyphon has popped off so far on this map.
Yeah, been very limited success. It feels like the story of the map, really, for TSM. You know the situation you're in here for PVision as well, so they can play this one so slow, just take the initiative where they feel comfortable. Long-range fights set up with the nades. Nothing to play with for TSM. It relies so heavily on them being able to actually get out through the mid doors to even take the hit up short. And Patsy's in position, they walk straight by. The first one's got past, but he still finds it. Oh, and they're just feeding in the kills. Switches to the sidearm, straight to the head. Almost the ace on it versus the eco bash.
Yeah, if you're Patsy, you know where one lays, there's going to be many more that follows. You have to play that pack mentality in these kinds of eco rounds for the most part. If TSM are going to be playing 1 player out, you're expecting a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So nice play from Patsy, padding the stats, but more importantly, padding his economy as well. With a 4k in the round, 3 of them off the back of the MAC-10. Zero try as he may. It's going to be the same outcome as the previous round where he tried to hold on to that MP9. It is certain death. And PVision up to an 11-4 score. Everybody on double digits. Everybody performing solidly here for PVision. And TSM, other than Acor, who's landed quite a lot of AWP shots in that first half, and Sierra, who's been trying his best, there's really not much to be excited about here. And going into Vertigo next map as well, even though TSM have a slight advantage in terms of stats, it's still not a great map for them, all things considered. The way that PVision are playing right now, like, I'm fearing the worst for TSM. Like, this has been a very clinical performance.
Yeah, if the organization thought this was going to be their return to the major, it might be a major disaster for them. If you lose this map, you're 1 away from elimination. And it'd all be over so quickly with how fast this map's played out as well. Acor, elevated angle, taking the slight fight on short side if they come running on into him. Again, the luxury is that PVision have the extra nades to work with. The CT side, not so much. The last of them being thrown out here, so it is just raw flashbangs they have remaining. And they still don't really know the true picture of the round. Heavy investment on the A-bomb site, with only Sarah being the defender towards B. Alpha keeping them on their toes. Zyphon, quick turn. Fights back into it. He's got back up this time as well. Insurance policy from Valde. But the real hit on Sarah finds success. They're out on towards the bomb site. Nice tag from Valde. Slows down the AWPer. Lets him swing back in, but there's another peek coming, and it's Belchenok at the window.
Oh, they know, though, the tunnel is a problem. Spray's a little bit off, and Patsy's going to be struggling as a result. If it was clean, he wouldn't be down at 12, and Belchenok's going to fall into the same bracket. But it is a 2-on-2, and the CTs will be coming out the close-knit angles of the tunnels, but Nico doubles up. Him and Valda sharing the burden of this round. And TSM will have a 5th on top of it, but that is one past test, and there are many, many more to come up. Also, when you take into account, by the way, and this stat's going to be slightly different now because Nico's just got his first multi-kill round, Valda's just got a second. But Acor had, going into that round, more than half of the multi-kills that TSM had in this entire map. Whereas you look at the side of PV, everybody has at least 2 or 3 multi-kills. It just goes to show how incredibly one-sided the bulk of these rounds have been.
You're the AWPA head-to-head on screens here, the direct duels that have been won. This felt like it has been a very back and forth, seeing who's got the AWPA hand in these engagements. Highlights your point as well about the multi-kills there for Acor. Now, he's been pretty quick with the opening duels down mid, right? When they were going for the totem pole.
Yeah.
And their T-half, obviously CT side, though, feels like he's starting to quiet down a bit. He's got the AWP back out here. First time we've seen what feels like a healthy buy from TSM going into round 17. But it's the round scoreline that's worrying. Flub this one, it could be over so quickly. And we see the exact counter. Art Frost on top this time, looking for the run across, fires out the warning shot. 2 players on the B-bomb site, one going for a fast hit up short side. That's Acor. He wants to take the hit straight towards mid.
Gets it. Batsy sent packing. Player in the smoke, and there was a couple of shots there. I thought for a second Kiko was about to get the most disgusting of one-taps through onto Nico. That smoke now fading, flashed through, but it's not going to affect Kiko. He had the blue bin as his sanctuary, Molotov out, and a flash first frag. Oh, the second would have been huge. Elsewhere, though, Belchenok has gone in for an entry, and they've already spilled out onto the site. So for all of this long back and forth, Catwalk was plundered and collapsed. Lovely shot from Art Frost onto the top pixel of Nico's head. And as soon as TSM get one round and get a decent buy, it's brought back down to its knees. As PVision are now going to have 7 map points. Oh, TSM have to just save. Destroyed on the approach. Catwalk just basically was like paper. It was like a paper bag. They just stomped straight through it. No problems.
It's like a paper straw when it gets all soggy, mate. Just folds over. Brutal scenes. And just like that, I mean, you make it to 12. Had to find huge impact in that round. Acor, it was a nice play as well, even better. You see it on his POV there, with the flick back up. He was looking for the lower fight, but adjust towards the palm tree. You talk about great shots. Art Frost certainly delivering in this series. He's starting to wake up. Belchenok's been hitting some good shots. Patsy and Kicker as well. The experience on the team, firing on all cylinders. That deadly duo. It's the point we were talking about before. You look at Kickert's career, 6 major appearances. The last major he was able to attend 2 years ago, back at Rio, winning that one with outsiders. For Patsy, he's had his quarter-final placements. That was with Spirit, of course, at Rio as well. An iconic major for those two. And this might be your first step towards correcting your path of the RMRs, living to fight another day. Just one more round and lesser cash on a few players, so concessions made. No AWP for Acor, it's a scout instead. Art Frost firing out the warning flare down mid. Zyphon playing close towards the smoke.
Wasn't far off connecting either. Would have been one of those B players with a hole in their chest. And did I just see my man Art Frost like cross his legs while he was playing? That just hurts my knees looking at that.
He's flexible, mate. He's got the snapback. He's got the positioning. He's a bit of a G.
Like, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to walk for days afterwards. I'd be done. I'd be cooked. It'd be all over for me. I'd be in the same position that TSM are looking like right now. At least they had the benefit of a best of 3 and more maps coming up after this. It's not a best of 1 elimination. You have Vertigo up next, and that's assuming that they can't make the comeback. Valda's going to trade up to the AK flash out, but Frost, while Flash doesn't care. And he was fully blinded there too. Just pulls the trigger and blows Valda away. And our PVision with a player advantage up against the Scout and 2 M4s. They're looking to try and put this map to bed right here, right now, as A-Core is sent sprawling from Frost once more, and Xiphon follows suit. It's all on Syrah.
It's a cold morning in Shanghai as the frost has arrived. And for Syrah, frozen, broken, and brittle. The flames go down. 2 tags there. Audio cue translated over. Belchinok trying to post himself up for the quick peek. He's seen the head, wants to take him down. Nade strips him of health. 5 HP, no pathway into the bomb site. Crosshairs all over the place. Dust2 should be dead and done. And the final shots there. Kicker closes it. PVision with the opening map in the elimination best of 3.
And a well-deserved victory on Dust2 as well. It was so one-sided. The scoreline completely paints the picture. A real team effort as well from PVision.
Now, Vince, if that was a pre-banana game and this is a post-banana game, oh, mate.
It's over.
Yeah. The power of the banana is strong.
It's GG.
Mate, the 2 strongest fruits in Counter-Strike. You got to have your oranges and your bananas. You get that vitamin C, come out swinging. You get that potassium in, wakes you up, gets you ready. Can't play a game of CS without a banana, Vince. It's just not right.
I think Snacks will make an argument for an apple as well, Jackie.
Fair enough.
You've got your trifecta right there of fruits. But enough chit-chat about fruits and into the game. Elimination beckons potentially for TSM. But the first kill's going to go their way, and A-Core's just going to stand by himself and deliver 2 big kills.
So we're talking about bananas and apples. We didn't touch on the acorn, but that one hits heavy. Falling down with a barrage of bullets, and the teammates looking to assist as well. Xiphon running over the bridge to commit to that kill. Another picked up as well. Grabs the Glock, puts it to great use. So this is looking to be an incredibly clean pistol round from them. It's only Belchinok left. I say only. This man has talent. He got the first pick. He was the one that took down A-Core. You're vastly outnumbered, outgunned. You do have the benefit of time to work with, but he doesn't know about their angles. And walking across here, it gives all the info over. They now know about your position, and Syrah takes his time to line it up and send him down. So TSM with a pistol.
Exactly what they were looking for on the opener here on Vertigo, just to calm down the nerves a little bit. No post plant either, as they lost that in amongst all of the chaos, and Belchinok not able to pick it up and put it back into the site. So not really any kind of bite to speak of either. You got a deagle for Belchinok, and that's about it. Xiphon peeking down, a player that really does need an A-star performance here. Well, they back away. They read that grenade toss flawlessly. No one took any damage from it. And Syrah's down to 25.
Xiphon dashing in the HE as well. Trying to soften him up. They want to go for the boost up. It's Belchinok on top. Crosshairs right on his head though. Getting through this one cleanly is what they're looking for. If Xiphon's baited in, potentially the backstab from Patsy. Gold Tooth, looking to make some money, but toothless on the fight. And with him being low now, just post up, let your teammates finish this one off. Kicker's got 10 health to his name, no chance in the round. Just don't let it become costly.
You notice if he jumps up onto the little platform as well, there's 2 players likely going to rip his head off. He's just going to lay and wait, but there is no reason with TSM on 2 low players to push down this ramp. Kicker's going to at least neutralize Syrah, so that is one weapon that's going to need to replenish. And I don't think they can trade up from the MP9 to the assault rifle, so it's actually a rifle that's lost, I believe. I think it was the FAMAS. So not too shabby, and now PVision can come back in with a full-on AK investment. What do they have in order? they have to play off here? I'm really curious because they haven't played Vertigo much, and as we've discussed before, like the win percentages on this map are really quite bad.
To the third with the rifles out on parade for the first time. Let's take a bit of space. It's Xiphon engaging. Down the ramp. Oh, re-swing out from Serra. They're low, sure, but they get the pick back. You don't necessarily need to commit to anything here at all either. There's no push on the extremities for TSM. Instead, it's more of a posture off, wrapping around to support for a late hit towards the A site. So all the T's group up, walk their way back around. The stairs are going to be clear. Bomb site completely barren now as well. So the welcome mat is down. 4 versus 3. If they get in, get the bomb planted before Nico makes his move back over. It could be a real rough round. He's going to know now. Nade's coming in. He's got to play off the back of his team. It's too late. They could already be swarming over the site.
Yeah, I'd imagine this will just be a safe call, in all honesty. I think TSM realized that the 2 plays below $1,000, it's not really worth the risk. 4 players still stand for PVision. It's better to just tap this one out and play again for the next one. So really off the back of 2 very quick entries on ramp, can make an argument like was Sierra a little bit late on that peak? Did he need to peak at that point? Doesn't really matter because PVision have exploited it regardless. Plenty of utility is all as well saved across on TSM. They've got lots and lots to play with into the next round, so they'll be coming back pretty healthy. I think Valder can maybe even drop an AWP as well. He could, if Acor fancies it. Nice shot.
And if Serra was able to win out on that one, it's still certainly a round they could have found moves into, but Patsy beating him out. Survives off the back of the bomb blast, tickling him down to 5 HP. Obviously, bomb radius on Vertigo a lot more forgiving due to the nature of the map with the verticality. Ooh, first pick this time around is good for the CT. Serra straight in. Oh, knows he's trapped. He's just trying to make it uncomfortable so they can't spam him down. Does find his exit. Egress back round on towards the yellow side. They throw the nades in. So 2 players ridiculously low, but still standing. So battle of attrition's good for you here into the 4th.
Yeah, I mean, really, as far as PVision are concerned, they're not even sure if these players are low or not. There's no guarantee here. They're going to go in for a boost as well, kind of offset some of their low HP bars. Thing is, though, if a grenade gets tossed in, that would be 2 players going down alongside it. Sierra now, Eagle Eye trained on, spots the pixel, the top pixel at the head, and exploits it. Drops down in time as well, not fully punished. His teammate goes out, but it's worth the trade. And KitKat's also low. Smoke designated to try and fend off the elevator push. It's so difficult to push onto the A site with all these different angles to watch out for, especially on low health bars. Bomb now dropped down, fumbled from KitKat. Art Frost anticipating that peak, but turns around to make sure he's not getting backstabbed. And ironically gives his back up to Nico. TSM starting in much finer form than we saw on Dust2.
This was your opening pick from Serra, was able to keep himself alive, jumping up and down like he's on a trampoline. And then put up on the boost, finds more impact. Even the dink, back on the kick-up made it so uncomfortable. He won the duel versus Acor, but lost so much health. So 2 rounds down. TSM with a far better start on their CT side of the second map. This is their map pick. Serra, we see more of this throughout the course of the game. He's got confidence on the ramp.
First pick at damage cost, but forces back the CTs. Now Nico may be up close over on the B side, but that's not going to see any action anytime soon. They were looking like they were going to draw away Valder off that site to try and facilitate a little bit more defensive capabilities. The Molotov is good though. Belchanot can't push through there. HG also lobbed up and over. Does land onto ramp, decent damage. All 5 players now weakened, some more than others, as Patsy is limping across, but TSM have managed to get across 3 players over here onto the site. They're looking for a boost as well. Patsy wants to try and shut down some of the oncoming CTs, but nothing forthcoming. And now PVision going to look to try and pressure forward. The spray's on point from Valda. Kickup maybe answers back. The CT's doing a really good job of fending them off, but there's the swipe. Belchanok from the half of Elevator, shutting down 2. And now Nico can't do much about the rest of the round as it falls firmly under PVision's control. Great flank from Belchanok, though.
Too many players, too many angles, and only one man to try and contend with them. And losing that one, it's a slap straight to the bank accounts. Calling the timeout. Have an opportunity to discuss things here. Valde looking across the Zyphon. Ragin standing up to have a bit of a word with the squad here. Obviously, like we were saying, pressure's on. No room for error in this matchup. Bit of a back and forth between him and Zyphon.
Kicked off with his entry from Patsy. It's a solid one, but the problem is that they were so funneled and so tunnel vision towards the site itself and trying to spray through the smoke. They had no idea the Elevators was going to be their demise ultimately. Artfrost yet to get a single kill here. We're discussing that it may be a difficult map for him to have that same level of impact on, and that has proved to be the case thus far.
Molly up to clear out the close wood angle, but it's a 2-player boost behind the white boxes. Nades perfect. Wow, lovely lineup for that one. Tons of damage done. And they still hold, expecting the peak towards the stairs, just in case it comes in late. But a far weaker defense towards the B site. It's Acor taking the position from Sarah as well. That's with the scope this time. AWP in position, 4 players walking up the ramp.
Clearing out the sandbags as well. Now fully focus their attention onto the site itself. With 50 seconds, they have plenty of smokes as well. 4 of them still intact. Acor playing the side angle, anticipating they may get dry peeked into, but it's unlikely that'll be taking shape anytime soon. He decides to back away. Or at least fake as if he's backing away. Through the footsteps downrange. Saw if anyone nibbled on that bait, but that's not the case. And now Sierra has been plucked out, deleted off the server. And the same could be said of Valda as well, as PVision looking to capitalize once again on a weakened A site. And TSM will try and back away to save. Oh, it's rough. They also lose Nico as well. No save weapon from him.
Patsy showing us that the P stands just for his name at the minute. Huge plays on this one. Takes each and every fight, wins them relatively cleanly. Huge multi-kill and another round picked up. I mean, the response back onto Valde as well is a big ticket item for him. Got knocked down the second he revealed himself. They can tuck off to survive. Acor, he's going to go for it. See if he can get the shot off through the barrels. It's close, but not on target enough to finish.
Who was it that we saw? Was it Forzy from Eklot?
I thought it was the Americas RMR. I'm trying to remember what game it was, but I know the one you mean, where he got the shot out.
Yeah, the exact same one we just saw. Yeah,
literally that position, the post-plant save.
I think you're right. I think it was the Americas RMRs, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember for the life of me who it was. It was so long ago now. It feels like so many maps have been played since that point. I mean, TSM had a lot of early success on ramp control, like playing aggressive with 3 players. We had Syrah, Acor was aggressive down there, Valda as well, but it feels like maybe they've lost some of their confidence. Understandable in this round, they don't have really the firepower utility to support it, but PVision now are just getting ramp control for free, basically. It doesn't seem that difficult for them. Maybe a small adjustment that needs to be made as Belchanox looking good to double up, get a couple kills, and shut down this eco round.
Oh, Sarah turning his attention there to try and grab his hands back on the deagle, I believe, that was on his teammate's body. So he's overwhelmed. It's Nico close in the smoke towards midside. Belchanox walking up, dives on top. Close inside of it, but restricts his vision more, so he can't quite see the top of the head. Trying to posture further back, the jump spot. Just enough for him to catch whiff of him. And Acor, the only one that's left with the AWP. Missed shot. And that's how Belchanox takes him down. Ace in the round. The freest of aces there, it felt like, for him.
Yeah, somewhat funneled their way into multiple 1v1 peaks, and he is never going to let that slip. Great confidence, little boost as well. Nice shot into Nico, just spots him out the corner of his eye, and Acor the last man standing, but not for long. This is where I need to see Rajin and the rest of TSM like try and figure out how you can be proactive, because sitting back right now is not working out for you. Giving up ramp to PVision for the most part is just way too much pressure to absorb and soak up. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like ramp control. Maybe try and put pressure mid a little bit more, try and take more control over the B side. Artfrost has an AWP, still 0 kills to his name. His ADR is 8 coming into this round. But Valdez isn't much better, by the way. It's 9. 2 players really struggling right now.
Artfrost thought he had caught them on the cross there, ready for the strike down with the AWP. We saw him eat the banana before the game, Vince. I thought that was game over for him, but maybe that potassium's not sitting right with him right now. But Patsy is certainly punishing again and again. On entry, good for 2. Zyphon with a backstab. It's 1 kill back, but still so much more to contend with inside of the 8th round here. And Nico still lurks. Playing on the rafters towards the back of B. PVision, ton of time on the clock though. Don't have to execute off the back of any of this yet. They can grind it right down, play with the time, play for the trades. You know you've got the manpower advantage.
Honestly, the worst thing they could do right now is try to get too aggressive and finish this round prematurely. That's where you walk into the potential pitfalls of TSM punishing you for that. And they're going up into middle. Really like this play, actually. It's really difficult at a player disadvantage to justify having a mid presence. You're typically going to be more of like a 2-1 formation or stacked together is what we're seeing right now. And so PVision are going to try and close the gap. However, they are moving into the stack site with 25 seconds left on the clock. And Valdez hearing this from a mile off as they line up for the spray. And that's the bomb that goes with them. He's going to smoke onto that bomb and force out the staircase players. But Kikut's the next to fall. Oh, they gambled and they rolled the dice and it came up snake eyes for PVision. Artfrost has to save and TSM steal this round away. After getting blitzed on ramp, they managed to recover for a 4-4 score.
Looks a bit demoralized as well there. You can see it on the player cam for Artfrost, and fair enough, feeling like he's had limited impact, limited success. Hasn't been able to get himself off the starting block, and it was all with Patsy making this power play on the A bomb site. But at the bitter end, Valde gets vicious, and TSM tie the game 4-4. First pause called in for PVision.
Well, he's certainly not a 9 ADR anymore, Jackie, I'll tell you that much. I'm a bit surprised no flashes went in. It was smokes, but like that was basically it. I thought at one point they were going to wrap around all the way into Elevator and try and finish on the A site. Yeah, I can see that Artfrost is not enjoying himself right now on this map. 7 ADR, as you can see on the charts. 3 opening picks for Patsy, and they've all been in the exact same position up on side.
Seems like off the back of the tack pause, there is going to be a technical. We saw Kicker fumbling with his microphone there, so potentially that's the issue, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I think this does come back to obviously what we were discussing previously as well. We were saying, like, for some AWPers, it can be a bit of a rough start on Vertigo. If you're not really feeling like you're finding impact, AWP isn't able to really pack a punch as much. Oh, hang on. We've cut over to the player cams here. Seems like the admin's getting a bit of a one-on-one on the go with Artfrost. Hands have been thrown up in the air, Vince, so maybe a bit of an issue there for him.
Seems to be laughing it off, though, or maybe it's a bit of a wry laugh, you know. Regardless, though, it seems like all the players are back on the server and the referee has got back into position, so we should be good to start back up again. 4-4. First map went the way of PARIVISION. If you just joined us, it was Dust2. Pretty one-sided in the end. TSM got battered and bruised. Good news, though, Zyphon has entered the match. 147 ADR with 8 kills and 3 multi-frag rounds already. Much better from the star player on TSM. We highlighted that he had to have a serious level performance here, and so far he's been delivering on that promise. Down on ramp, getting aggressive. Love to see that from TSM. It felt like that was the determining factor as to why PVision were getting into so many rounds, and they plugged that gap for the time being. A second kill on top of it. PVision struggling to get a foothold on this round.
Struggling to get a foot in the door at the B1 site as well. Molly burnt the toes and sent Kicker off the wood. They go for this boost instead, looking for a pick-up. Seems like Artfrost is paranoid about the back door. He's going to be watching the rear, pre-scoped in. Kicker wants the smoke to fade and hopes that he can hit a nice tap on the peak towards the rafters. Time's ticking. They call in for the backup. Re-smoke out. Bullets whizzing near the head of Acor, but it's a stalemate. You have to get a pick and get one cleanly to get them in. Seems like they dropped the Molotov back over to Artfrost. If it's on target, it might afford them a pathway in, but you still got to wait so much time out on this one, and time isn't really what they've got left. 2 smokes left. Flash over the top. 30 seconds on the timer. Acor sees the head from the side. Quick up with the flick. Hello? Oh boy. The wrist breaker. But converting the round is always going to be uncomfortable, and Valdez lurking in the back. You might have hit the miraculous shot, but a one and done is not enough to take the round, and Artfrost with miss after miss as Valde closes the gap.
Oh, I hope we get a chance to see that from Kicker's perspective, because that was outrageous. That's like a 90-degree flick while flashed, while getting dinked, and just removes the head. So this is where it kicked off, this ramp control we've been talking about time after time. Nice kills from Valder as well. So here we go. Kicker tagged. Get wrecked.
Oh, mate. A blinded shot, like absolute corker, but no round. It's been Patsy making the power plays. He's the one that's just so confident to run in at ramp and try and make it uncomfortable for the CT side. Gets space here, but finding a pickup just isn't really afforded to him. And Alpha's already gone, so fighting down a man with concessions made in the buy, running through the smoke. Sarah holding it. And we said, you know, Zyphon's coming alive. 8 kills. Sarah as well, being able to win out on these duels, make it uncomfortable. And we're back to deja vu on the B-bomb side.
Yeah, this feels like it's, you know, Patsy and Belchanok or bust, basically. Like, they've had some kills, but it's mainly been those two. And keep in mind that Belchanok in particular, like, he basically has 5 of his 8 kills off an eco round. So more so it's Patsy. And if Patsy can't get an entry, they are really struggling on this half right now. Like, in terms of opening duels, Patsy has 3, Belchanok has 1, Kicker, Alpha, and Artfrost all have 0. This is so top-heavy for their T side. And by the way, they've only played 6 times on Vertigo over the last 3 months. 39% round win rate on the CT half. So this is their best half for the most part, and their CT side is pretty bad.
It's kind of mad, isn't it? Well, let's see if PVision can tie up the game here. They're going to try as they might. No AWP, all AK for Artfrost, but it's a cold day. not working out well for him. Kicker in the close angle is able to do a bit of damage, but it's all down to Belchenok. Gets behind them, but no time on the clock. 3 seconds. If they kill him after time, it'd be insult to injury. About a second left there. He still falls. The outcome's still what we expected, with TSM taking 6. The money's in the bin anyway.
It's been really cool as well to see the small little adjustments. Like, first off, they started taking ramp control again, but secondly, Sierra, who was typically pushing on side and facing down on ramp, hasn't been doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Because Patsy punished him twice and effectively got P-Vision rounds off the back of it. So they're being aggressive, but in different ways, where they can dictate the pace a little bit better. Patsy's maybe getting a bit predictable. It's like he's only getting entries on that part of the map, or nothing's really happening for P-Vision. Once they made those adaptations, it's been pretty one-sided. Valda, a bit of an off angle. He hasn't played in this spot yet. Typically been up on the sandbags or close range. He's not liking his prospects there, though, but there's a boost. He saw it just out the corner of his eye with the X-ray on. Belchenok gets boosted up on the boxes. Is he going to go back in for another one? Sierra's watching it. Needs to stay alive here. If he goes down, it's going to be curtains for this round. Even with a low investment of a buy, they cannot afford to lose any other players just yet.
They bide their time on the group up. Zyphon's taking the fight to them here. Well, they're going for the contact play. They're making the noise, running on in. He tucks in behind the sandbags. Don't clear it, it'll be your demise. Able to spray, rip and tear, flesh all over the ramp. Art Frost with a single kill back on the Deagle, but that's all you'll get. TSM closing that one down. Zyphon, heads up call. You love to see that. Playing advance on the ramp as soon as he hears the footsteps, puts himself in a good angle, and absolutely owns them.
Especially as you know, in an eco round like this, the chances of him having a Molotov are so low.
Yeah.
Like if they had a molly, they've already thrown it to top ramp or side or somewhere else to cordon off one of those areas to push in. There's such a good read. Fly-by read from Siphon, and it has yielded them around, and it was looking a little bit sketchy when Belchenok got that opening pick, and Sierra was peeking into the AK that they had. That second time out for P-Vision now. I mean, they should have a buy into this round. They only had one hero AK in the previous one, so they're good to go. It's a MAC-10 for Kicker. Belchenok up to 113 ADR, but Alpha's gone off the boil again after a really solid Dust2 outing. He's back to 1 and 9, and although he's double the ADR of Art Frost, it's still only 22. That's a lot of nades.
Yeah, last round of the half, so all the additional bells and whistles being left in spawn for the rotators. It's Patsy that's been putting their head on a swivel time and time again. Let's see if he can flip the script back to how it was working for P-Vision, with him finding entries. Ooh. Gets ahead of the Molotov. That one bursting just underneath, inside of the boxes. So it's not burning his toes. Acorn might not expect this. It's a close angle engagement with the orb. Should have him bang to rights if he peeks in. Pressure applied in the back of the site as well, but he's still holding strong, just jiggling on contact. He's going to see the leg. Instant snap up. Patsy punished. Zyphon running up the rear with a backstab, but Alpha holds it. Belchenok on the bomb site. No chance there. If he wins out versus Valde, it could have been a 2-2. Instead, it's just Alpha, the lurk on the bridge. I have a bomb site to choose from, but neither one of them are pretty prospect.
That's a hell of an adjustment shot from Acor. I thought it was going to get baited in with all the chaos that was kind of submerging the ramp side. And Alpha, oh, we saw this in the previous round for Zyphon. I think Valder is going to have the exact same outcome. Unless timing works against him, Valder is going to get the drop onto Alpha here. Takes the head off, up close. A bit of a jump scare for Alpha. 8-4 halftime scoreline. Dialed in for TSM. They win the pistol one more time, and this time they've converted into a dominant half. There were moments, though, like in the mid portion of that half, it was in 5 rounds, 4 of them were picked up by P-Vision. But once that second tactical timeout came in, man, it was pretty much money. Straightforward.
Very animated there from Ragin, communicating his point across to Valde. Whereas for PVision, a little bit more somber. Kicker's been fumbling with his microphone around this one, trying to get it feeling comfortable. And feeling comfortable really does summarize how they've been throughout the course of this one, right? Like, if Patsy isn't getting the entries, if he's not making moves on ramp, then it just doesn't work out for them. The late rounds, the calls haven't been there. As much as Zyphon was pretty quiet back on Dust2, he has been large and in charge here with 15 kills to his name. For so many of the players that we were ranting and raving about there for PVision have started to fade off into obscurity. I mean, Artfrost, only the 1 kill.
Yeah, and that was towards the end of the half as well. It was a Deagle, basically an eco round where he was able to get the 1. Belchanok, 9 kills, but 5 of them off the back of an eco round. So yeah, Patsy with probably the most impact, then Kickert in second place. Alpha's just disappeared as well. But maybe on the CT side, you know, playing more static is going to allow Artfrost to shine a little bit brighter. But that's assuming they even get the opportunity. I mean, you lose the pistol here, you may only get 1 or 2 rifle rounds before this comes to an abrupt end. So pressure really is swelling. 3 players. Triple threat of Doom, Patsy, Belchanok, and Kickert. They're 3 heaviest hitting players. Leaving Alpha over on the extremities with Artfrost. Very slow round from TSM though. They have a smoke and a flash in play. Starting to make a move up now. Patsy's not going to be budging an inch, and they're moving into that trifecta. The triple threat. Shots now raining out. This Patsy that rattles the dome of Nico, takes him out for an early bath. Kickert is exceptionally low though at the back of the site, but Alpha is managing to deal with the contingent on the flank. It's all PVision so far. And although Valde may be able to bypass for a backstab, maybe get the 1 stealth frag, PVision looking great for this second pistol, kicking their CT side off with a bang.
With only 20 seconds left, and the Lone Ranger of Valde just waiting to go down in the dirt. Feels like it should be completely confirmed for PVision to take this one, especially off the dink. Everyone's peeking together, overwhelming with targets. And the pistol round's worth so much. Mr. Belchanok comes online again, shows us what he's made of. You also put yourself in a position now to tie up the scoreline early. We've seen a lot of reset rounds when CTs take pistols over the course of this RMR. PVision would hope this isn't going to be one of those outcomes, but with just Glocks, it should be easy pickings.
I'd certainly hope so if you're PVision, right? Like, you certainly don't want to lose one of the rifles. If you can lose one of the MP9s, it's expendable, it's fine. It's not really that much of a bigger deal. And we had SEO come in early, and he was like, listen, guys, I'm going to be real with you. TSM like wasting a lot of time in their eco rounds. Yep. They're stacking hoping for a push, which realistically isn't going to come through. So they are going to start making a move in. PVision hoping that they move into one of these MP9s. They can spray him down and bank up the cash. Artfrost on the narrow angle has spotted them all running out into the open. He's taken a headshot so far and only gets the 1 kill. Plenty of damage for just the 1 frag, and this is where the MP9's now going to fully just rip through and seal the round up with Patsy on a triple. 8-6 the score, but TSM will have a bye now.
Cash invested into the AKs and utility alongside that. Little head-to-head stat for you here with Zyphon being highlighted for TSM and Belchanok, the beast from PVision on the other side of things. Zyphon slightly ahead in the direct duels and the multi-kills. Obviously, he had a stellar half there. It's about continuing that form on his T-side campaign. And Artfrost, very quiet. Didn't really had much to say about him in terms of his impact. He wanted to try and go for a fast pick onto the ramp in case they were coming up quick. Stereo Molotovs making it uncomfortable for him. So he takes a bit of damage down to 81 HP early. Not the end of the world for an AWPer.
It's interesting as well how PWE have decided to approach the ramp control as opposed to TSM, like very slide heavy with that control. PWE not sending anyone over there for the time being. Now Patsy's making a move in. This is where he was a real nightmare, a real nemesis on PWE when the roles were reversed, and now in a good spot to maybe shut them down from the back. Kicker, though, has to try and extinguish the Molotov. The first kill goes in favor of TSM, and Sira's trying to wrap around the back. This could be the round-winning moment, the round-winning play.
He goes straight through, he blows the smoke open, looks to fight it, gets the read at least. They know about Sarah. Surely someone should be aware that he could walk through, but he's able to get in. Gets one, runs out of ammunition on the quick taps. It could have been even worse for them there. But all he wanted to do was cause carnage, because the real play is out towards B. They've got in. Round's gone.
I have a sneaking suspicion that we may see a reaction cam from Artfrost, and it's going to be very tilted.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he is just chilling around elevators, minding his own business with the AWP, and then he gets smacked in the back of it. It's like, guys, hello?
You knew he was there.
It's just full tilt. Oh, what a shot from Sira, though. The one tap through the smoke just pushes it. Like you say, I mean, you nailed it. He was basically the interference play.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I'm going to die. That's fine. Make sure we get the bomb plant in the round. The full sacrificial moment.
Terrorists win.
Right, are we going to have some delicious tilt from Artfrost? Feed me it.
We don't. Oh, mate. I do wonder what he was doing, though.
Sad.
I mean, if the game carries on like this, Vince, there'll be plenty of opportunities for him to be reacting. Because you're right, like, Sarah just runs through. Look at him, he's on a commando mission. Just the one tap straight to the brain. It's so mad.
Great round by Siro, though. He also got a beautiful entry before that onto the site itself, like keeping all those players over on that side of the map. Lots of damage early onto Nico, though. And Cyril was one of those players, it's good to see that. It felt like he was out of his element a little bit on Dust2. We saw a lot of very weird peaks and like uncomfortable moments, so to see him with this confidence is great.
100%, because he looked antsy, he felt really uncomfortable. It was like him and Zyphon, right? Zyphon more kind of emotional in the reactions, but in terms of the positioning, it was Sarah that felt off-kill. Here he's being able to play a little bit more aggressive, show us what he's made of, which is good to see. Acor, though, a man that was stellar for them, back on D2. Having a bit of a rough start into this round, finished off early. Zyphon close on the stairs. Belching up. Quick reactions as he realizes they're coming in close, but Zyphon again delivers a bounty of kills.
Well, they needed a big player to stand tall and start to deliver some serious haymakers, and Zyphon is the man for the job, it would seem. The bomb planted. And PWE have to save. They do not have the capabilities of replenishing these weapons. So they're going to have to tap out and allow TSM across the finish line for a 10th. And it is just that man. He is him right now, Zyphon. Picking up pace and just delivering headshots and entries left and right. 5. Make it 6 multi-kill rounds now. 120 ADR. I was a little bit concerned going through on the T side that maybe he would slow down just a tad, but it's not been the case at all. If anything, he's picked up the pace.
Oh, yeah. TSM have flipped a switch. Zyphon. For PARIVISION, man, it's getting rough. PWE boys just struggling on this one. Seems like another tech issue called in here. I do wonder if that's Artfrost again, because he's looked very uncomfortable. Like, even some of the shots there on the jump across towards the B-bomb site. I know they're hard shots to hit, but that's like what he was doing. That's where he was at his best. Like primal Counter-Strike. We just hitting crazy shots, always being able to visualize the frags. I think that's one of the things for him as an all-pro on the CT side. You can see so good at being able to like visualize where the pushes are coming from, what his angles are. But just not hitting the broadside of a barn right now.
I mean, it's just so top-heavy, isn't it? Like, Kicker, who had a pretty good first half, is dropped off significantly as well. Patsy now not able to try and exploit the side control of the T side. on the CT side has looked a little bit more toothless, hasn't really had the impact you'd be hoping for. It's just been Belchenok that's been keeping the flag planted in the ground for PVision and trying to play off the back of it. MP9 for Alpha. So not an ideal buy even after a save comes to fruition. Although Core is peeking up, I don't think that PVision will want to peek this anytime soon. Patsy's going to get aggressive, but there's a smoke in his eye, so a HV toss down with a double one on top of it with Kicker. But negligible damage. A-Core just loses 8. This is a bit of an off angle. Haven't seen PVision go for this kind of aggression so far. Trajectory of that Molotov is going to give away Nico's position, and he should be odds-on favorite to take that kill, Belchenok. Far superior to Nico when it comes to those individual moments. And does get the freebie pick.
The waterfall down on the ramp. Molotov, though, just as the smoke dissipates, so it's going to connect on the side of that one and be extinguished instantly. Kickert knows he's got to force the issue on the walk-up. Good for the first. Spat straight back down as well near Valde's position. So this is a round where you've won 2 opening duels, and there's limited time left on the clock. Zyphon's still alive. But making the play is Valde on the walk-up towards the ramp. With him falling, the ship is starting to sail. Zyphon wrapped off towards B. Incendiary dashed. That'll fade quite quickly. But unless he finds impact in the next few seconds, calling in for an actual play to go for this on the B bomb site is going to be so rough. So you've got to call it off, back off, hold on to both of the weapons if you can. And Patsy, full John Rambo, hunting in. If he can get the guns out of their hands, this could be a bit of a window back into the game. Might actually find the gap to walk in as well. A-Core's just tucked back in. He's already scoped. He might not spot him for this. But behind the pillar, he's ready for that one. Now they'll get through. So save both the weapons. PVision pick up a round of their own. And for Zyphon as well, you know, to give some credit to him sort of over his career as well, right? Like, all 3 of his major appearances post-COVID, sort of optics for the future, one of these younger players that was coming in, showing what he's made of. He was part of that sort of really notable Copenhagen Flames roster as well, right? You're thinking with Hooksy, Roy, Nikodos, Yabi, all players that went on to different prospects, different great things. It felt like he was sort of one of the forgotten pieces of that time. So it's nice to see him here showing what he's made of, his individual firepower.
And kind of ironically, a lot of those players you just highlighted are now unknown themselves.
Yeah, true, actually.
Like, you know, not really performing at that level. Nikodos, obviously, previously for Heroic, now replaced by Dexter. Well, Adain in this round has been replaced by Belchenok in terms of their positioning because he's thwarted that push. Nico down for an 8th time, just 30 ADR to his name after a very rough Dust2 showing. Yeah, Zyphon definitely has raised himself very high up. He is, I would say it's him and A-Core, the 2 players that most people are excited about with this team. And
yeah,
if TSM don't make it, you could make an argument. Maybe Zyphon goes on to greener pastures. Maybe he is in that kind of bracket if there's roster changes of some of the other Danish teams, maybe like Heroic or something. Maybe he's got a look into one of those squads to move into in the future, but he won't care about those conversations because in the here and now, he is fully focused on getting TSM back into this round, but he's going to have to do it on 61 HP. And only 2 smokes to play with here for TSM as well. They've expended most of their utility on the progress up onto the top of ramp. Just shy of 40 seconds on the clock. It's not easy. Oh, slow peeking into the rat angle. And Art Frost pulls out his fangs.
Oh, mate, pixel peek on that one. Sniffing the pixel, smelt him before he saw him. And strikes right down. There is a window. I mean, maybe you got a bit of time on this. It's going to be really close, though, with the clock. Like 15 seconds, they're sprinting up in towards B. Valde knows that he's got the close angle control, but has to find impact. Both of these need to be Valde's. With him only getting 1, they can storm out onto the bomb site. No opportunity to plant. Zyphon and Sarah fall together, laid to rest on the B site. To PVision, picking that one up. Art Frost. So many rough shots, rough openers on his T side. It's a disgusting shot through the box. I mean, they convert the round overall.
Yeah, it's been that kind of series for Nico so far. Yeah, that's kind of the concerning element as well, that there may start to be a little bit of panic spreading into TSM at this stage. You had a pretty solid lead. Down to 10-8 now, you're into an eco. PVision picking up the pace and some of those slow-moving parts. Like Alpha had a horrible first half. He's really stepped it up as well. There's not much that can be done in this round other than hope and pray for a horrible, catastrophic mistake from PVision, which is very unlikely to come forward. I say that as Kicker has the worst spray probably his life.
Mate, yeah. Actually, though, oh god, it is really starting to go wrong as well. I mean, like, this is just Glocks, boys. Can't be losing this one. Luckily enough, they're all so low on health that the spray back from Belchanok is good to batter them, and Patsy should be able to bruise on the peak as well. But that looks scary at the start. They might actually get a bomb plant out of this. I mean, bit of extra cash wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You've already forced out 2 rebuys. Money's not the prettiest on a couple of players. Zyphon with the deagle. What is going on? I mean, 48 seconds on the clock. Gets himself an A1S. He wants to tap onto the bomb. It's the full commit. He's hoping to get it down just for the additional money. Spam round the periphery, and Artfrost will eventually get it.
Bro, like... PVision, that... The fact they've lost 3 players and conceded a bomb plant is unbelievable. And additionally, it does have consequences. In order to pick up the AWP, they had to drop an AK. They would have loved to have held on to as many of those AKs as possible. They can't.
100%. You can see with Artfrost as well. Like, if he wasn't frustrated with some of the rounds before, he's finding a bit of individual impact, and at least he closes that one before it really does turn into like a nightmare sort of round. But instantly, before the defuse, talking to the boys, like shaking his head, looked frustrated as well. Kind of wondering how on earth it got that close, because it shouldn't have.
No. No, absolutely not. I mean, Kicker had prime position there, perched on top of the ramp to just spray down 2 or 3, and he's had a complete disaster class.
He's had a mare.
Yeah, I think it was Nico glocked him. It was a 1v1, and Nico's glocked you. Like,
You know, Steele's probably woken up in cold sweats right now.
Glocks.
I think it was dazed, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of them was, he's a coach, he's a manager. Was that Steele?
I think that was Steele, yeah. Oh, mate, well, either way, cold sweats, forget about that. Put it behind you, put it to bed, focus on the here and now. I mean, still, TSM are leading by 1 round.
They are, but I think it's safe to say that the sort of dynamic of this game is starting to switch away. That's 3 back-to-back rounds. I'm hearing typing, so I think we may have a tech issue again.
Seemed like Artfrost. I think he's pointing at the headset, maybe?
Yeah.
Actually, admin's over there on the TSM cam. No damage. There was no first contact, so it's fine. Round will be replayed.
Just a false start. Get back in the box again, guys.
Yeah, headset's off. I wonder if he's having audio issues, because it seems like he's always been like fidgeting with the headset.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if the referee and the admins have been checking it and they're saying we're good to go, like I think some players, and this is speculation on my part, right? I don't know Artfrost personally, but I know a lot of players can get in their own heads about this kind of stuff. Like if you notice it, it's hard to ignore it at a certain point.
Oh yeah. I mean, the classic storyline of old was Professor Chaos on Splice, mate, where he used to just basically say, like, my game's running slow, I've got to use shotguns, that's it. I remember Dave telling me the tale of effectively, like, they were on LAN on different PCs, like a dream hack, and he's just going, boys, look, it might be in my own head, but honestly, game just feels slow. I'm just going to be a bank, I'm going to drop you weapons, I'm going to use a shotgun. And everyone's begging him, like, no, please, this is you, this isn't real. And he's just going, well, look, my game's running slow one way or the other. I'm only using Mag 7.
But that's the thing about CS, though, isn't it? It's like such a psychological game, I feel. A lot of it is mentality. It's what's going on between the ears. And so if you do notice something that kind of throws you off kilter and you're a little bit tilted, and obviously after that first half, understandable that Artfrost may be a bit pissed off. I'm thinking back to that Zero push through the smoke as well, where he gets domed from the side. Like, he's not had a great experience in this map after being great in the first one. So these all add in. Not entirely sure what the problem is here, but you also have another player with his headset out. I think it's Belchanok, I should say, with it off. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. Patsy's at the top. Having more conversations here from Kicker.
A bit of a back and forth between them. Yeah, so my game is just running really slow, and I'm going to have to use the Mag 7. No, please don't use just the Mag 7.
Yeah. You have a full variety of weaponry at your disposal, sir. You have like $8,000, so please.
That, like, for me, is actually just the biggest of the proof. Like, I've literally, of your point, whereas like Counter-Strike is kind of like hockey in a way, where like hockey goalies are so superstitious, where they have like a whole routine of like, you know, I'm going to have a swig of the water, I'm going to squirt some water on the ground, I'm going to pass it between both hands, now I'm ready to score some goals and make sure they don't get any. It's the same with CS. Like, some players do just have a mentality where it's like, no, look, this is happening, and I have just decided it is.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing before with one of the 9 Pandas players. Was it Shalfie that had the pandas on his
little
headset?
panda danglies, yeah.
Obviously, a lot of players bring their own sort of talisman or...
We've got a little puppy dog here.
Got a puppy dog there on the Siphon, I think it is. Down at the bottom left. I don't know what that mouse pad is, though, Chief. What is that?
He's repping the anime, mate.
Okay. Each to their own. Then Valda, like, you know, the experienced sort of pushing 30-year-old veteran, just sat there, nothing.
Yeah.
Just blank expression. He's just big vibing.
Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. Oh, tissues being deployed. One for Art Frost there. Sweaty hands. Thumbs up, though. That bodes well. Okay, so wipe down the mouse. Reset mentally. Don't want sweaty palms. Oh, has he spilled a drink?
Oh, no.
Oh, don't spill a drink.
He's wiping his whole desk, isn't he?
Oh, it's all going wrong.
Right, he's putting the in-ears back in, though, so I think we're on the... Oh, I've spoken too soon.
Is the mouse sensor wet? His keyboard's flashing. Oh, no. Has he spilled water on this?
Mate, tell me it's not the classic, I forgot to charge my mouse.
Yeah, because obviously, like, we discuss this a lot, because, like, we cast a lot of online stuff, and you see it happen. For those of you that don't know, like, most wireless mice, when they get to like 25-30% battery, kicks into like basically low power mode.
Yeah.
So the sensor isn't tracking as accurately. So you got to keep your gear charged. If you're going to go wireless, keep it charged. I don't know if he did spill liquids, but there was a lot of wiping going on.
Okay. Headset's back on.
Mouse mat's back. There was no mouse mat a minute ago.
There we go, Jackie. We got the countdown.
Right.
We're ready.
Tech pause speculation with Jackie and Vince out the way. You've had your chicken facts. You've had water-based discussion. But now we're back in for some Counter-Strike. This is what you all wanted. Less yapping, more clapping as we're back into the action here. Round 20, live and kicking. Important one for PWE. TSM, they were on a hot streak. But closing the map is do or die for them. If they lose this, they are eliminated. That's your run at the Perfect World RMRs taken away from you at the hands of PWE that will live on to fight for an opportunity in the Shanghai Major.
We've seen so many upsets already in this particular RMR. After A went kind of according to plan, B has been thrown into disrepute. With all kinds of shenanigans afoot. Frost, we saw him use this angle with the M4, the same with the AWP, but he gets battered down to 2 HP and just has to back off. He cannot stand anywhere close. A stray bullet or piece of shrapnel and he's dead. So PWE hold on to their AWPer. He's going to have to be playing passive pretty much throughout the rest of this round, so a great opener for TSM. A lot of time has been whittled away off the clock, though. Shy of 50 seconds, and TSM looking like maybe they're going to go for an execute over on the B side.
And for Xiphon, is he still red hot? Been a couple minutes there over the tech pause. You wonder if he's starting to cool off a little bit. Belchinok looking through the grates, hoping to see the back. Can't quite see the rear there of Nico, but it's the full frontal assault from Xiphon. Serra assists as well. So they might not have much time left, but they're making the power play. They can cause this rotation on towards the B bomb site. They could even wrap up if they want to. They know there's a player on A, but with such little time on the clock, they've got to commit to it. Patsy, if he goes huge here, he could still save it. 2 frags, 10 seconds. They've got to find the bomb plant. A-Core has to cover for the swing. Alpha walks out, tag onto the white box, time ticking, you've got to commit to it here, forcing him off the plant and it'd be dead and buried, but Alpha with the backstab, all in the 1v1. A-Core with 2 health to his name, baits out the shot, but he holds strong.
Oh, the fact that A-Core does not bite down on that bait is huge. Oh, Alpha played it so well. The A-Core is, oh man. The clarity not to pull the trigger there. but to just wait.
Yeah.
In such a pressured round. Oh, let's see it from his perspective, hopefully, the way he's played this. Really nice effort from Alpha, though. Yeah, oh, okay, to be fair, it wasn't a full jiggle like bait. He just kind of jumped up.
That's one of those, you go, yeah, I jiggled. You kind of full swung. He's just interrupted me, guys. I don't know, he's 2 HP.
Oh, we can let him off, though. I mean, he played that so well. Considering that was a 5v3, like, Belchanok did a lot of damage on the approach. You got 2 players to, like, 20 HP or so. But PVision, what an important round. That has gone begging for them, and TSM pick it up to maintain that 2-round advantage. I feel like this still could very well go to OT, though, Jackie. The way it's ebbed and flowed and gone back and forth, I would not write that possibility off just yet.
Definitely not. But those rounds rely so heavily on the man on your screens here, Patsy. He was the big dog. Entries after entries on their T side, always dragging them into rounds towards ramp. Belchanok as well, big frags. Kicker, he's been going a bit quiet. Some laboured sprays from him. It's an opportunity here where he could find impact, though. They're baited to focus on Patsy. They're starting to make their move up on the ramp. But again, you don't have to commit to this. They've still got so much time. You're 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock. And you're baiting out nades as well. Nades that are a luxury right now for PVision.
Yeah, they're few and far between. A lot of damage done, though, from Patsy out onto Nico. From the side onto ramp. Unanswered damage for the most part. He just gets slightly tagged in the process. But damage to Nico and A-Core. TSM making moves back over. Once again, looking for this B-side push, and it's only Alpha here, and he has the MP9, the weakest weapon in PVision's collective arsenal, and it is trying to fend off against a full 5-man push. Or at least 4. They do have the mid-contingent in play too. So fast rotations through, the timing slightly off. Alpha's able to somehow back out of there, or I spoke too soon. Gets picked off on the cross. Nico missing out his opportunities onto a low Art Frost, but it won't matter because TSM will have a 12th round.
They know they've got to save. It's all about the bank at the end of the day. The world runs on the paper with no cheddar in the bank accounts. They back off to hold on to the free weapons to give themselves a buy in the next. Fighting for the overtime now. That's the raw facts. And Zyphon headhunting again. Baited in by the shot, so he fires off. Can't quite get it, though. They're doing a great job of saving this at the very least. On the walk down, A-Core finds Patsy. Best case scenario here then is the 2 weapons and a fight for OT for PVision. With TSM only 1 round away from dragging us to Ancient. That is the decider in our 0-2 best of 3. Elimination on the line for these teams.
Yeah, rough purchase coming in, so it's so important they stayed on 2 those guns. They did lose 1 in the hands of Patsy here from A-Core, but at least we're able to hold on to the M4 and the AWP. So MP9's dropped across. Belchanok with the Deagle. Again, I've said this a couple of times over the RMRs, but like if I'm kicker, I know you have to have confidence in yourself, but I'm thinking, right, Belchanok, maybe just take the M4, Chief.
Yeah, to be fair, like he's had some big rounds.
Yeah, like feed the hot hands. Kicker's not had a great second half.
Sometimes you just got to play with that advantage on whoever's fragging. And Art Frost, you need impact with that AWP. It's Alpha that's going to be tested. Awkward engagement. Zyphon so quick on the draw right now. Like the crosshair placement's amazing from him. And Art Frost running in, wielding the AWP like a shotgun. Luckily, he's got support of Patsy. He can get that AK. So they've got 3 strong weapons now here into the 22nd round. They physically cannot afford to lose. It'd be over. We're going to the 3rd map. Sarah just waiting on the lurk. Art Frost walks in, unsuspecting. Off angle catches him. A minute of time to play with, outnumbered 2-1. Patsy on the B bomb site with Nico just lurking, tucked in. You overextend and go for info, he's going to know, but he also hears the footsteps.
He's running back into Zero, though. And he will not miss that chance. Kick up with the M4 last man standing. Bomb yet to get planted, but it is moving over onto B, and he can't deny that. TSM on the brink of taking us to a 3rd decider matchup, which would be over on Ancient, and that's where we're headed. 1-for-1 in terms of maps between the two teams, and a Zyphon masterclass, a real star performance for TSM.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Zyphon there. A game again where it looked like elimination on the line. Lose this one. No matter what happens, if the outcome is an L, you are done. Your run at the RMRs finishes here as we start to say goodbye to our first teams from Group B. Firing up the squad there is the coach, raging, trying to get him nice and activated. Acor warming his hand up with the fast circles. Interesting stuff.
Here we have it then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience as we are ready to delve into Ancient. It will be TSM on the CT side and PVision occupying the T with a tad of utility in the hands of Alpha and getting aggressive up on middle and A main. Oh, very aggressive plays from TSM. 3-player stack on middle, trying to wrap around into the catwalk side. 4 of the 5 players on mid, but they're going to be bypassed from this fast A hit.
Feels like a bit of a read on the setup. So you're playing for that retake. And Belchinok up close inside of the donut, tucked into the off-angle. Acor peering out. He was warming up his hand before the game started. Let's see if he's got some hot shots to play with as his teammates are going down, but he delivers. Reasonable plays from the man with the stickers over the USP as he starts to group up with the rest of the squad. The last 3 want to run on in. They've got the kit, they've got the smoke, they're going for it.
Yeah, smoke's now fully plumed, but there is a slight angle that Frost can make the most of as just wildly sprays the P250, finally connects the headshot, and that'll be good enough for the round. You can see the TSM are trying to force their way back on the site with the smoke and just make it as chaotic as possible, but PVision in the perfect positions to fend that one off. Lovely shot from Frost there. And that's really exactly what you're looking for. You know, we were talking about being a shake off that Vertigo performance. Well, Frost in 1 round has pretty much got more kills than he did the entirety of the first half of Vertigo.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. It was a real rough start to his T side there. But put that to bed, like we were saying, just focus on the here and now. Don't think back about the prior rounds. Focus on what is in front of you. The chance to live on for another day. Nade round the corner, below the toes off of Nico, bit of splash damage up on top of the box. And obviously you've got the range advantage, you don't want to run straight on in. Afford opportunities for these close range weapons for TSM to sing to success. Only problem is with how they're gravitating towards this one with the utility they've got available. They want to set up for the late B hits. You might be rused into it because there's been no info play from the A-site player.
Yeah, that's true. Acor's playing way more static in that donut position. And as far as he's concerned, they could even be pushing through on A-main side. Like his back is basically turned. Now they're going to find out that's not the case as Alpha rips straight through onto Cave with his Mac-10. And the bulk of rifles getting involved. Valda thought for a second they might line up for a double there, but instead it's only CT bodies hitting the deck. PVision looking very good for a clinical 2-0 lead. And there may be a couple of survivors for TSM, but PVision really dialing it back in here on their T half. Soaking up the pressure was not possible for TSM. They had a couple of chances, though. I was thinking Valda might get 1 or 2. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I was a bit worried for him walking into the stack. Nico was forced out of position inside a cave before he even really had a chance to make a play, and 1 by 1 the picks come in favor of PVision. Didn't look like it would be a flawless round, but it is. So you take the pistol, win the conversion. Start the game with 2 rounds under the belt. And of course, it's only the Scout and MP9 that's dragged into the next, so not the end of the world.
You need to be careful, though, because even though it is just a Scout and an MP9, if they're moving into sites late, PVision, that's where it can start to activate these weapons. And of course, you also have to take into account there has been a Deagle picked up at a P250. Zyphon with the Deagle, and his aim has been on point over the duration of this last map. Bit of tickle damage. Oh, that's a lot more than a tickle. That's a straight-up punch to Alpha. And Zyphon, just as I highlighted him as being a threat, he has neutralized Patsy. One Deeg immediately taking the advantage on TSM, and then we do have a boosted up scout as well. That could be a problem, especially as Alpha's already been tagged down to 31.
So with his opening plays towards B, Valde and co call for the 3HE stack. They deal a ton of damage onto Alpha, so Sarah should be favored in this fight, and he's already one out on one of them. You then factor in that Xiphon got that sick opener down towards mid with the deagle. Yeah, PWE pressure's really on. I mean, coming into this round, it's basically just an MP9, Deeg and a scout supported by 3HEs, but at every turn, all of those pennies have really been worth the investment. Kick up, tagged up by the scout. Molotov's on target to force him out. Sarah had some good rounds previously. And with these targets weakened, if he goes confident, it could be curtains for them in the round. But heading Artfrost, 38 seconds, both players low. Paranoid about a backstab as well, with the crosshair of Kicker honed in on midside. Xiphon just sat there waiting. Mate, opportunities in this round are going quick, and that one's going to be another L to the face of Kicker as he's slain by Sarah. 3 frags on this one, tons of money, and a round to boot. PWE, an uncomfortable loss here in the third.
An uncomfortable loss and a very costly one. Already, Galil's been picked up, and there should be more weapons littered around they can try and trade up to. Second Galil now. Alongside it, not just a TSM win with an MP9, a Deagle, and a Scout, but they trade up to significant improvements. Oh, that is special. Verticality flick after blowing the smoke open. That is a ridiculous shot by Xiphon. Every right to have a laugh about that outcome. Well deserved.
Living up to their name on that one. Team Solo mid only took one man to make the opening gambit. Breaks the smoke, hits the shot. And they convert off the back. So second timeout already here. PARIVISION instantly trying to save face. Talk about what you can do to course correct. You reinvest into it. You still have firepower. It's going to be a bit of a bonus going into it. For TSM, working with some of the salvage weapons, the Galils, the AK for Nico. Valde with that MP9. Acor sticking on the scout. Early mid-smoke thrown in, block off Red Room. Deep mid can be blocked off as well. They're trying to stop this push on the fast hit towards lane side in case they group up and the CTs activate together. But great offensive utility will slow down the push. It means that they can dive out. Valde with confidence. Ooh, the spam. Nearly on target for the kill, but with 7 HP, Alpha tucked into the angle. He's got to posture off because of it, though. Nico causes carnage, so he doesn't find his man on the tap back, and you've already lost 2 players.
You can make that 3. Sira is just growing in confidence with every passing second. With every bullet passed into the dome of PWE, that tactical timeout has been neutralized. Already calling 2 of them. So Alfrost and Patsy, who've not really been able to get into this game so far, a minute on the clock, bomb at least next to them to try and retrieve, but TSM are in such good spots. That same boost that we've seen a couple of times already for Acor, allowing him to peek down with the scout. Love the aggression as well, like Val is just getting out quickly through Cave and Nico there alongside him. Took enough time to try and bait as if they've gone to the other side of the map. But the fact that Xiphon is making moves round on the flank, he knows that they haven't bypassed back towards A. He knows they're still clumped on the B side. And Patsy's taken the scout shot. Drops to 29. Artfrost at least picks up the 1 kill onto Valde. But it's the expendable MP9. And with 10 seconds left, they're going to have to try and pressure forward and force this bomb plant down. I think they'll be able to get it as well. The flanking contingent's not quite in just yet. Patsy in a 1-on-4. Picks up 1, but Xiphon shuts the rest of it down, and TSM will double up. Ties back to 2 apiece.
And Xiphon, he's been super impactful in this series, but also very vocal. Feels like another commanding voice in the team. You could see even as soon as he jumps on the bomb for the defuse, communicating with the squad, very animated with his hands as well, and how he's talking to them. Absolutely manhandled on the opener, though. They had rifles, but until the bitter end, it felt like we didn't really see much from them. 3 players remain alive for TSM. That was a bit of a bonus for them, so now they can dump the funds and reinvest with actual firepower to play with, whereas for PVision, it's 1 AK in the hands of Patsy. Fair enough, he's had some crisp openers on the T side. Rest of them, though, just pistols to support. You talk about Patsy, shows up instantly. All right, that's the win out versus Xiphon, so cooling him off into the 5th round.
Needs to be built upon, though. Getting 1 kill is all well and good, but what can you do with it? And Nico says nothing. You are not going to be able to deliver. Artfrost has been dropped the AK, though, in the meanwhile, and pick up the pace and does catch Sierra, who just tossed the smoke down onto the lane. Problem, though, is that although Artfrost is up close and has the bomb under his control, he is isolated and segregated from Belchanok. He'd like to have him there, if nothing else, as a bit of a bullet sponge to shield away the incoming damage so he can get the plant down. Belchanok is desperately hoping that someone tries to wrap around the side and get up lane via the ramp. But TSM are not biting down on this. They have Nico that's up close. They have the flank covered as well from Valda. And Acor is watching from CT spawn. All of the initiative needs to fall on PVision's shoulders.
Nico knows. He's seen Belchanok, full visual contact. They can play together here. Acor holds for the run out on CT. Walking up, bites his time, but fires out the warning shots. Now they know about your position. Angles to be paranoid about, swings up on his own. Oh, Artfrost fighting demons in his own mind here. He's got to show up massively. Caught on the reload, but can't commit to the kill. Valde still alive. Goes back in. But as he throws the clip into the AK, he'll slay. Artfrost hits the DECK, and TSM win out on the retake. The IGL for TSM there, leading by example. 3 kills and a 3rd round.
I thought Artfrost had unlocked the path to success. He waited for the magazine to deplete, then tried to cross to the long side of the site and play from a different angle, but then re-peeked, anticipating that he would catch Valda in transition. He did, but the Dane was too fast on the draw. Had the PVision get a post plant down in that round and a couple of kills, though, is still pretty valuable. Money is good for TSM, but it's not fully erupted just yet. And with full rifles coming up, including an AWP for Artfrost, they can quickly cut them back down to size. Sierra playing for it as ever. Kicker just runs around the corner, completely dry, and just nails him. Sierra just didn't seem to connect the dots that he was getting pushed into. There's no defenders dealing with the post plant, though, and so therefore Nico just runs out to the open and deals the damage to the bomb planter. Such an awkward state of affairs, this back and forth favoring PVision for the time being, but no longer the case as Xiphon's picked up a 2nd AWP and put it to use.
They wanted to go out as well. They wanted to give this up, run back. They thought they had space towards mid-side with the wrap-off. Didn't feel comfortable on the bomb site. Oh no, Kicker trapped with a Molotov as well. The Incendiary sends him off to the Burns ward. And this round is going up in a puff of smoke for PVision. You were on the bomb site. Man was 1 second away from the plant. You get swung out. There's no control, no assist. And as Acor finishes it, TSM take a 4th. PVision. It felt like they had themselves space to work with. How was he allowed to get out, fight through cave, get that kill? No trade. And this was the entry, like Sarah, it felt like he gave her way in, right? Kikut's playing on the angle for the peek round towards long side, so can't see on the run out. Nico deals the damage onto the bomb planter. Incendiary comes in with such low health for Kikut. And he's barbecued.
There's going to be some serious words, though, from Belchanok to his teammates. Like, guys, I'm planting and no one's covering me.
Yeah.
He just rushed out of cave and shot me in the side. Like, how is that allowed to happen? And that changes the entire rhythm of the round. If the post plant goes in, they get the bomb planted down, like, they can start to retrieve in these different angles of crossfire. They don't have to get sucked out into this weird engagement with utility flying all over the place. They've just got to try and detox from that one and put it out of their minds and focus on this, the 7th round, but it started the same way. Acor popping off and Xiphon supporting him, although the bomb gets dropped down on the deck. They're going to be able to retrieve it for the time being, and Nico, who's been absent for most of this best of 3, now starting to show himself as quite a player. However, a 2v4 quickly dissipates. Oh, with a minute left on the clock, Alpha and Artfrost still in the fight, still able to maybe clutch this round.
And we said Ancient will probably have some scrappy Counter-Strike. That's what we're seeing right now. Really messy rounds, back and forth trades, always down to moments of madness. Artfrost again looking frustrated, and it's all on him. He's in the 1 versus 2 here. 40 seconds on the clock, so much noise. Sarah knows he can just hold. Raw peeks it, round's gone. Again, such a weird one. Like, you had an opportunity. They really did have a chance. That's 2 rounds back to back where they were answering. They were finding kills.
It's a valiant attempt to try and pull this out of the fire, considering they lost 2 players in middle. Once again, Zyphon and Acor are picking up the brunt of the impact. Squeaking out 4 Galils. But they have no nades. They've already used their smoke in Red Room. They only have a Molotov left with so much time left. So fully investing in firepower. And saying we've got to get entry kills and we've got to get them clean. Otherwise we lose out once again. Trying to execute with no smokes or flashes at this point just feels like such a difficult endeavor for PVision.
Sarah's just jump spotting it, so as soon as he gets contact, he's just going to throw the smoke down, try and stall the push inwards. Didn't see Patsy, so he's only got visual contact onto 1 player, but you're expecting them to just go for the run-in because there's been no noise towards mid-side. And they had the boost on the back of Donut as well, so I had crystal clear vision there. No real reason for the adjustment as well. Like, they can't trade off the back of it. So Belchanok, he went in for the solo play, bested out by Nico. About 40 seconds left on the clock here. The nades were gone hours ago in this round, it feels like. Smoke fades, they're ready for the clash. So Valde falls in the advanced angle. It is a 4v4, but you've only got 30 seconds to get out, and the crossfire's there. The Incendiary comes in. You're going to take so much damage on the run out or be trapped inside where you can't assist Patsy, and he's the one that's got to get on the bomb site. You know they're close in cave now, so the Incendiary's going to rip in. It will slow down the push. Patsy's good with the first bit of a dink there on Zyphon, but he's still standing, and Sarah's able to follow up as well. Stereo kills all over the bomb site. TSM down to the bitter end. They lose 2 players, but they get the round, and this is a 6-2 lead.
That's where you typically expect someone on the side of PVision here, like maybe Kicker, maybe Alpha, to pick up like a smoke, a couple of flashes, and a Tech 9 or something, just so you have something to play with on the approach. Now, I understand why they've done it in terms of going for the firepower with max round loss bonus. They can come back with another buy here, with much better buy. As you highlight, already 6-2. TSM off to the races with a really solid CT showing so far. And PVision struggling. And again, this time it's Belchanok that's just kind of gone off the boil. He's been solid in the first 2 maps, but 2 and 7, not really any impact. He's down at 27 ADR.
As much as they had some nades coming into the round with just shy of a minute left on the clock, it's almost bone dry again. It's just Artfrost has got the 1 smoke for the setup, and Belchanok with a flashbang for the pop-on entry. You want to split push up again, try your luck on the B bomb site. It draws out the utility from the CT side. You're not forcing them out of position. Nico playing on the edge of the Molotov. Assist Sarah for the first pick, but Kicker gets a quick 2K back. Acor's here. Artfrost? He spammed down Alpha. What?
Oh, wow.
Did he turn thinking that someone was ramped, just banged him out?
I guess we'll have to see a replay on that one. That is a very strange outcome. And it could have disastrous repercussions and consequences. It would have been a 4-on-3. Oh, Valda got jump scared. Leapt into the air. panicked and got found and fragged out. And now Zyphon holds on to the defuse. It could be a full defuse. A full 5 seconds to pass. And TSM take the round. The team kill has crippled PVision. And if they weren't tilted before, you better believe they are right now.
I'm gobsmacked. Like, what went on there?
I can only assume that he just panicked and got crept up on, and there was no comms. Like, I don't know. Artfrost seems a bit dejected as well, doesn't it? Like, it's incredibly bleak just looking at the body language of all 5 players. Here we go. Let's have a look.
Oh,
okay.
He's trying to spam the smoke.
Yeah, it's not as bad as we initially thought it was. It sucks.
Oh man, it makes sense now in context, but obviously for the outcome of the round, it's rough. It felt like, again, as well, like he was trying to activate off the back of it, realizing like, I really need to do something in this round now, like I've got to go huge. Tries to take the engagements, he's looking to fight. You talk about fighting TSM, this is what they've been doing on their CT side. They feel so confident going for these rushes down, using the nades into the engagement off the back of it. A-Core misses the shot, it's scrappy on the bomb side, super messy CS. Frost with the AK, clashes back onto Valde. He could break this wide open, try and hit the flick. It's a miss, but Zyphon's in the back to be the insurance policy. A-Core win this one, and you would send PVision into a world of hurt, but Belchernok bests him. They answer back going for a similar play. Quick burst onto the B side. It's messy, but it works. It's a round.
A little flick to the top from A-Core at the end through the smoke. Was he faking like he was about to pop flash himself? It looked like the kind of maneuver you would go for underarm.
Nice!
I'm not sure if he was trying to play the mind games or not. Maybe I'm just looking far too much into that play. Regardless, though, it's going to still go the way of PVision. Yeah, that team kill kind of shows that there's maybe a certain level of tension and anxiety and panic that creeps into the players. You can understand why it's such a massive game for their careers, for their lives. Nico's going to get caught with the smoke. And Kicker will not give him a chance to retrieve his position. There will be no retreat, no surrender this time around. Artfrost breaks a deadlock from his own perspective, and it's A-Core that's sent reeling out of the round. Now tons of mollies and flashes alongside it, but Sierra sits in the middle of it and welcomes the oncoming Artfrost with his M4. Suddenly TSM are in with a chance of this round. Sure, Sierra is low, but the way he's been playing, brimming with confidence. He's capable to pull it off. He's now been put down where he stands, but Valde's there to deliver, and Zyphon takes the kill to Kicker. This round now awkward. Belchernok's had a rough start of it so far on Ancient, but he needs to pass this test with flying colors, or PVision in real trouble, and he gets caught in the side. Frag down from Valde, picks up the kit, and enough time for the defuse.
PVision thought they had found the weakened knee. They wanted to abuse it again and again with these quick hits towards the site, keep them guessing, make them think they're not going to go for it again. One too many times, Nico has been caught in transition as well with the smoke towards cave side. It's like the first time we've seen him die in that kind of position. On the response back, I mean, they pull it off. Valde getting away with kills he's got no right to. Even knew where the kit was for the quick pickup, knows he can defuse it. Soul-crushing rounds. Whereas for TSM, they're going ballistic, they're screaming, the comms are good, they're racking up the rounds in their CT side campaign. And PVision, it's all B bomb site. A doesn't exist right now.
That's true, isn't it? Like, they really have just not looked over on this side of the map at all. I think maybe one round out of 11 played so far has seen action over on this side of the map, and now we're going to see Zyphon try and hold fire. He does have backup though. The buddy system is good, but Sierra and A-Core hemorrhaging health. Blood spilled on the ground, but Patsy also is in the same bracket, in the same position himself, and TSM may be just on the edge of taking a 9-3 half on their CT side. It would be a phenomenal showing, all things considered, after getting smacked down on Dust2 to kick this series off. They've shown great grit, tenacity, and resolve to get to this point. Led in part by Zyphon, but Sierra definitely needs to have his flowers as well for how he's conducted himself on Vertigo and now Ancient.
He's been looking really good the longer the series has gone on. Acor is removed from his angle by the Molotov as well. But he's got to peek again. The flames have faded, but the heat is still coming. And it's Kicker that delivers the killing blow. Looking for more. Hardened in these sort of situations as he gets a #1, looking for the spray down. Zyphon might win one, but the duel and the round goes the way of PVision.
Well, they at least end the half as they started it in winning ways. Keep in mind, off the 4 rounds they picked up, 2 of them with a pistol and the second round, and then everything just came apart. However, you also have to say, in the rounds they lost, they did get the plant down 5 times.
Yeah.
Which quite literally shows you that they were getting tons of opportunities, tons of options to maybe pick up another round here and there. I think they'll look back on this Ancient performance, assuming that they don't win from this point, and they'll be full of regret of what could have been.
Locked into the one-on-one conversation here. Valde discussing an awful lot with Zyphon. Now looking across, you can see the hand up there from the coach as well. Raging wanting to get his piece out in this limited time you have available. Always one of those underrated elements of coaches. You have to be able to articulate in a very short space of time. Only having those periods between rounds and between halves. Right then. 4 rounds down. Could have been an even worse scoreline. PVision, they move to their CT side. We know some of these players. This is where they play their better CS. But for TSM, that duo of Zyphon and Serra. A scary element to have to contend with, and it's been all B bomb sites, so why would we move away from it? Right up the ramp, they go running on in. Kicker has been domed in the face. He's low on health, overwhelmed, but still gets one. Problem is, it flips straight back. The T's taking map control quick and putting them down in the dirt. 1 by 1, PVision blown to bits.
And they've been stuck behind a smoke as well, and Belchanok takes a stray bullet from Nico. Art Frost's position is pretty much known at this stage. And TSM will be dialing in this second pistol. There is no way forward for PVision. Ideally for Art Frost, it sucks that this is his best case scenario, but just hold on to the Kevlar and the Julies. And he may not even be afforded that luxury. It's a real scrappy one, but he gets the upper hand onto Nico. And is able to delve away and hold on, but it will put TSM into such a strong spot. A commanding lead of 9-4. PVision may force into this round, and if they do, I mean, they're eyeing up a potential 11-4 before they can get rifles back in play again. This is a terrifying spot to be in. When you led this series, you had the ascendancy in this elimination match, and now you are well and truly up against it.
For Kicker, you come into this RMR cycle looking for a return to the majors, the last attendance back in 2022 when he picked up his major trophy. And at the end of this map, if it's a loss for them, that streak of not being back will continue. And Patsy, he's been fighting so hard in some of these rounds. Arfrost super quiet on Vertigo here, living the high life with some impact, 12 kills. But the rounds, the real commodity of the game, that's all TSM's. And the difference of the tempo is they won't beat their head again and again on the B-bomb site. They play with the pace in the first round, then grind it right back down. Put themselves into a position here where you can see if PVision give you an opening pick. Get a read from the round, use the utility, go for the late execute on the B site, smoke off the donut, smoke off CT, and then run in with a barrel of flashbangs on top. 3 players situated there this time. Double up from Alpha, Art Frost, and control of donut from Belchanok.
It could be a ruse, however, because they're now starting to shimmy their way back up on middle, trying to draw away rotational elements and let Zyphon cook. This is a fake. They want the B site again. Even when they pretend to go A, it will end on the final destination of B regardless. And although Patsy's up close in the cubby, he needs the backup right now. Kicker's coming in with his Julies, spamming up the wooden panels. In goes Acorn, his incursion to the site, looking to intrude and pluck out all these defenders. Alpha and Belchanok, though, are keeping this round alive by the slimmest of margins, but their positions are now compromised. They are known. Shira round the side with the AK, is going to get the drop onto Alpha, and that puts the FAMAS up against the world. Molotov goes out, but Valda comes in and seals this round up. TSM take 10 and break P-Vision's economy in the process.
That's even with them getting the rotate off just in the nick of time as well. It's like 25 seconds left on the clock. They're able to get the full grouping back over with even the backstab that finds impact inside a cave. Viscera, shot through the smoke, absolutely fantastic. This is it here. Connects onto Artfrost, the man that's been given it large. These rounds are breaking them. The difference of emotion, the human element of Counter-Strike here in the RMR is what it means. The dream to fight on versus the soul-crushing reality of losing rounds like this. It's really starting to wear them thin. And for TSM, you can play a real slow round out of this one. You know, you've broken the bank. It's 2-5-7s, a Deagle, no nades whatsoever. And nades on Ancient, man, it can be the difference in so many situations. For them, they can play a real slow drive-by, go for a contact, look for the post-plant. You're gambling. It's a 50-50. Heave a bomb site. They walk in towards A. You might be into a position to make a play with it, but they're going back towards B.
11-4 is to be coming right up as anticipated. P-Vision may want to hold on to the Kevlar, but realistically, there's not much else to save. The Eagle 5-7s might as well go for a couple of exits and see what happens, but yeah, I mean, this round is a done deal. You can tag this one up to an 11-4 lead. TSM on the fast track to survival. Awkward spray from Valda, but the Galil allows him the extra 5 bullets, and he uses each and every one of them to get 2 with the remaining P-Vision players. Iphon having no chill with his Galil, his aim still on point. Razor sharp, nice headshot from Nico as well. So TSM dial it in, no survivors in this round for P-Vision. And this is pretty much, you'd have to think, for all intents and purposes, their last chance. Their last opportunity to claw in and force TSM to work for it. And they will be calling their first tactical timeout of Ancient to make sure they're all on the same page and ready to put this one to bed as quickly as possible.
That's the gravity of the situation that we're facing here for P-Vision. You got your hands on the strong weapons, an arsenal that you can contend with. Offensive utility alongside the defensive as well, and the smokes there being passed back and forth, setting themselves up with the best possible spawns. Seemed like they had those primed, potentially expecting a faster play towards B, get the early default smoke off, block off the doors. Round 16 coming up. There's the opening smoke. Block off mid, block off the B doors. Red room also going to be restricted there. It's a deep Molotov. Could play around the edge of it though. Acor straight in, running on out. Patsy does not want the heat on this one.
Oof, nades consistently landing down on the bottom of lane, doing significant damage. Acor drops to 13, but they are undeterred by this presence. They still continue to drive forward. Step by step, closing the gap onto P-Vision, looking to onslaught and now picking up the pace. Planting that bomb down, but it does get denied. Valda, standing tall, delivers onto Alpha and funnels away the CTs. Just strong-armed into a retreat. And although there's plenty of health bars looking grim on TSM, P-Vision have to save. 8 elimination points beckon.
Kicker had to find impact. It's the only way. It's a different story. He's going to be kicking himself as well because you could see how frustrated he was with some of the other round losses they've already gone through inside of this game. So many targets. Couldn't finish either one of them, and the nade was right on them as well. Softened them up massively on the initial hit up ramp. But TSM, They take their 12th, one away from staying alive in the RMR. The exact opposite will be the outcome for PVision. And like you said, they just had to save it. There was no other outcome in that round. Run the risk of going for it, lose it, you know it's guaranteed that you're going to go down because you won't have any cash.
Yeah, that's Kikut's perspective, and as you said, man, like he had to have a lot of impact on the approach, and they just didn't. As blunt as it is to say, he did not have the level that he would have been hoping for. You could see the disappointment, and now the panic, the realization sets in, the bell begins to toll. Will you get a stay of execution? Good damage early doors, though, for PVision this round. A lot dispersed between 4 players, but the entry frag is forthcoming for A-Court. They don't have to fully commit to this. Pretty isolated, the bulk of the Ts. Siraz on the extremities, now pushing into A main, while the rest of the team is trying to just bypass those smokes that have been deployed just outside a cave. Will we see a fake on B and then get hit onto A side? Perhaps not after the frag's found by Valda.
This might come back to haunt them as well. As much as you get the pick onto the A player there from Arfrost, he might not know the true picture of the round. Valde's walking in. You've already got 1 kill off the back of the double molly into the frag. There's no response from Belchinok. Valde, vicious, rips them to shreds. Tattered and torn are the dreams of PVision as they are knocked out of the RMR. It's TSM, digging deep, fighting to the third. And Valde, with some great plays at the end there, gets it over the mark. TSM stay alive.
That's a phenomenal final round for Valda.